please.
Trustee Ash.
Here.
Trustee Criswell.
Here.
Trustee Gilstrap.
Here.
Trustee Hoskin Sutton.
Here.
Chair Isnard.
Here.
Vice Chair Ricketts.
Here.
Trustee Scruggs on through you.
Here.
And thank you for the special meeting. We have one executive session. At this time, I'd call for a motion to enter executive session for consultation with an attorney for the public body or agency which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, with possible action to follow, an open session for a 10-minute duration. Open session will take place in the Upper Jewel Lounge and in the virtual meeting room. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Board members will be allowed time to travel to the special meeting room now. Thank you.
Yeah, not anymore.
Susan, you're not muted.
Sorry.
We have volume? There we go. Thank you, Randy. I call for a motion to return to open session, please.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. We have one action item from the executive session. At this time, I call for a motion to approve the settlement agreement between Stephen W. Terry and Kansas City, Kansas Community College as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, we are ready to adjourn the special meeting. Do we have a motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Good evening. At this time, I'd like to call the Kansas City, Kansas Community College Board of Trustees Revenue Neutral Rate Hearing to order this Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. Cheryl, could we have roll call, please?
Trustee Ash.
Here.
Trustee Criswell.
Here.
Trustee Gilstrap.
Here.
Trustee Hoskins Sutton.
Here.
Chair Isnard.
Here.
Vice Chair Ricketts.
Here.
Trustee Scruggs on through you.
Thank you. This time, I'd invite the presentation of the Revenue Neutral Rate Hearing presentation by Dr. Mosher.
All right, thank you, Chair Isnard. Let's go ahead and switch to the PowerPoint, please. Well, good evening, everyone. It is nice to see that we have a very good and interested crowd with us this evening. So I want to step back a little bit and share some of the details that we talked about when we start the budget process back in March that are really important into this decision-making process that we will be going through tonight. So first of all, as a community college, we focus on student success. And when our students are successful, our community is successful. And our mission is to inspire individuals and enrich our community one student at a time. In the top right-hand corner of this screen, you'll see that 55% of the jobs in the state of Kansas are what we call middle skill jobs. That means that they require more than a high school education, but less than a 4-year degree. So basically what they are saying is they need a community college education for the skill sets that are needed in the workplace today. Bottom left, unfortunately, 50% of our population in Wyandotte County does not have more than a high school diploma. 85% of the jobs, as I mentioned, require more than a high school diploma, but we don't meet that. So unfortunately then, and a positive though, Wyandotte County has the highest weekly wages in the state of Kansas, very important, but about 62% of the jobs that are held in Wyandotte County are not held by Wyandotte County residents. And if you look at the educational attainment of our residents, that is a good explanation why. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. When we look at the county holistically, but kind of look at it in two parts, the western side of the county and the eastern side of the county, you can see tremendous economic and social disparities. So in the western side of the county, about 2,500 people have English skills less than making them employable, 2,500. On the eastern side of the county, we almost have 20,000. Can you imagine that? 20,000 versus 2,500. So in order for them to be able to get and maintain jobs, they need to learn English, right? That's why we offer our ESL classes and our ESOL classes so that they can get that start. Working full-time, living in poverty on the west side again, we'll just call it almost 4,000 people who are working full-time, living in poverty. Those are adults age 25 and up. Again, on the eastern side of the county, 18,000. So when we look at these disparities and 200% and 300% changes in the socioeconomic status of our community, again, we have quite a bit of work to do. Children living in poverty, and children are the future, not only of our county, but of our country and of our world. So western side, about 15% of our children ages 18 and under live in poverty. On the eastern side, 45%, 3 times as many people living in poverty as children. And then post-secondary educational attainment, again, the West is about 25%, which is still low. As we talk about, we need 55% to have some form of education. But on the eastern side, only 10%. So only 1 out of 10 people have some form of post-secondary educational attainment. That makes them very difficult to employ. That makes it very difficult for them to earn a living and successful wage. And if you look at it beyond the social aspect, but look at it from the economic aspect, they're not taxpayers, right? If they can't get good jobs and make good money, then they're not going to be able to contribute to the tax base. So I like to look at it from both the social and the economic perspective. Just kind of breaking it down in quarters when we look at the poverty by census tract. And when we look at, as we're working on the downtown project, the area where we are placing the Downtown Community Education Health and Wellness Center is in an area of our county that has 50% of the population living in poverty. It's our duty and it's our responsibility as a community college to go where the people need us the most and to provide those educational and wraparound services so that they can be successful in their life and start that generational success. So I'm a firm believer that zip codes should not determine a person's level of success in their life. While we have the top weekly wage in Kansas, we are last when it comes to healthcare rankings. That's something else that we need to be very, very concerned about as a community, because that raises the healthcare costs for every single person in this room. So we are investing in our community, and at this time I would like to ask Randy to go ahead and play a short video for us.
Good morning, everybody.
Switch
It is
video.
great to be back here in KCK to celebrate the new Community Education Health and Wellness Center at this topping out ceremony.
What a significant milestone, getting to see the final beam get raised by such an amazing team.
This center will integrate crucial education, health, and wellness programs and services under one roof. This state-of-the-art 100,000 square foot building will be home to a cutting-edge, multi-purpose space design with the local community in mind.
This building, it is a building that is built for the community, by the community. And it's impossible for me to thank everyone, but I have tremendous thanks to go out to all of our generous supporters and donors who could also see this shared vision.
To get to this point in construction, there's been over 1 million pounds of steel and over 7,000 cubic yards of concrete. That's 860 truckloads of concrete.
Community's in our name, that we are all about filling voids and actually helping to elevate communities. So it was a no-brainer for me to lock arms with Dr. Mosier, Jaron Raven with Swope Health, and really come together to make something very special here in downtown KCK. And I know together we are going to change lives in Wyandotte County.
This crucial marriage between financial literacy, education, and health, we hope will truly form a model not only for Kansas City, Kansas, but for the nation as a whole.
The Unified Government, we are proud to be strong supporters of this facility. This is a seed we hope that will continue to grow as we look to revitalize and develop our downtown here in Kansas City, Kansas. This isn't just about economic development. This isn't just about education. It's about enhancing and improving lives.
It's a story of hope, prosperity, turning blight to bright. And more than 100 years ago, in 1923, KCKCC opened its doors at 9th and State Avenue, 2 blocks from here. So in 103 years, we are returning home where we got started to serve the community that we just love so much. Thank you for that. You know, that video truly speaks of the important work that we're doing and the support that it has gained from people from all over the community. all different departments, all different organizations, and including the state and including the federal government. The project is being recognized on a national level because this is a new model in public-private partnership. And again, we have raised over $60 million of funding to help support the construction of this project. So that is unreal. And all the money that we have raised has helped save the taxpayers' money because we're not having to increase our mill levy. We're not having to put out a bond that we have to put an additional burden on our community. We're doing it by saving money and fundraising and being able to build this remarkable building for cash. And that's unheard of in these days. So as we talk about this center and everything that we will do, as the vision is to provide hope in generational poverty, improve the quality of life, and increase the socioeconomic mobility of our residents living in and around downtown Kansas City, Kansas. And that really says it all right there. And we started this project back in 2019, and it is the largest economic investment project east of I-635 in more than 30 years. And we are making it happen, folks. So as I mentioned, we started the project back in 2019 with 100% full board support. We also looked at what will be the ongoing expenses related to the project. You can't build a $70 million building and then not staff it. So as early as July 2021, and even before that, we looked at how many people we would be serving, estimated serving, but then also what is going to be the labor requirements for this building. So we recognized back in 2020, 2021, it's going to take approximately 9 new jobs. So back in 2021, the college and the board made the commitment to build this building and to staff it. That's very important. You can't have a building and not staff it. We also have a portion of the owners association positions that are available. So I will guarantee you that we will be doing our best to utilize technology so that we can have services be coming from other locations so that we're not duplicating in areas that we don't need to duplicate, but we do need people, we do need bodies, we need a director, we need an administrative assistant, we need someone to triage the students as they're coming in to find out what they need. We need police officers. So it's very important that we hold this commitment that we made to the community more than 4 years ago. And we know that what we do provides a tremendous economic impact for our community. So this is why we did the economic impact study. This is the second one in 2021. Just some highlights here. In 2021, Kansas as a whole, that's local and state resources, and tuition and revenue. The budget was about $114 million for that year. But it turned around with the years that we have been here serving our community and created $765 million in income, and that's just from our alumni alone. $765 million return on $114 million. I would say that's a pretty good ROI. And it supports 11,633 jobs. So it's additive. Every year we continue to contribute to our community. Total returns, when you think about people who are not arrested and incarcerated, are living on social assistance because they may be on social assistance right now, but they come to one of our programs and they end it, whether it's a 1 semester, 1 year, 2 year program, making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year. not only is that new income coming into our community, that is also a savings in what the community would be spending in social assistance. So that is additive as well. Taking a look at enrollment, you can see what the whole world experienced in 2020 and 2021, this little thing called COVID, right? And people weren't going to school, and it took people a while to to feel safe to come back to school. But you'll see in these last 3 years, we have been gaining enrollment. And in this last year, 2025, we had 6,946 students. That's an increase of 323 students this year. And we went from 89,500 credit hours sold to almost 95,000 credit hours sold. So an increase of over 5,000 credit hours sold, 2,000 before that. So we are growing. It's not a time to retrench. We're growing, we're getting back to where we used to be, and soon we'll be at 100,000 credit hours sold again. Since the 2022 economic impact study has a little bit of age on it, this was right before graduation. There's been some questions on it and online where it says 2024-25 anticipated. That's just the anticipated graduates in each one of those areas. It's going to be very close. It's not exact. So being very transparent and very open and honest with everyone involved, that's why it says anticipated. And we look at the average salaries for those positions. So in the May graduation, just these 12 programs, and we have 70 programs, created new income or increased income of around $29 million. And with our summer skilled machine technician program, and that's an 8-week program. So in 8 weeks, students can go through that program and they come out making $55,000 a year. So tell me any program, it'll open this up for anyone, there'll be time to talk, that in 8 weeks you can make $55,000 a year and then be making $80,000 a year within a few short months after that. So we are definitely adding to our community economically as well. Planning. I'm a huge planner, and at the request of the board back in 2023, 2022, we were asked to do a master facility plan, which was finished in 23, and it was adopted and approved by the Board of Trustees in 2023. Well, the master facility plan in 2024 dollars is about $161 million. If you think about a 10 to 15% escalation on that, every single year it's going up $20 million. So how can we work on accomplishing the master facility plan and providing quality learning spaces for our students and our community if we don't save and invest for that? It's basically impossible. So as we know, people will question me and they'll question my numbers and question my statements online night and day. But the World Bank is a pretty sound organization. And, from the World Bank, we know this education is one of the strongest investments for reducing poverty, improving health, gender equity, peace and stability, promotes employment, earnings, and for every year that someone continues their education globally as a percentage, their wages go up about 9% as well. And when I showed and shared the socioeconomic data for Wyandotte County, we definitely need to reduce poverty. We definitely need to improve health. We are the unhealthiest county in the entire state. We have high levels of poverty. The way that you can change that generationally is by education, and that's what we do here very, very well at KCKCC. So I'll switch to the numbers now. When we look at our mill levy history, here it's shown since FY19, we would have to go back to 2012. We'd have to go back 13 years to find where we had a lower mill rate than what we have right now. So in 13 years, this is the lowest mill rate that we've had because we have been reducing it and trying to work with our community to help save the tax burden for everyone, because I live in Wyandotte County too. I understand it. I completely agree with thoughts, concerns. As president of the college, though, I also have to balance that with my responsibilities of the college. But in 2024, we cut 1 mill. That's each mill at that time is about worth $1.97 million, so $2 million. That savings is carried on each year. So that 1 mill cut by 2026 saves the taxpayers of Wyandotte County $6 million, because if we went mill flat, then that burden would have been placed upon our community. We didn't need it all, so we didn't collect it. In 2025, we cut 2.7 mills going revenue neutral. That equals about $5.6 million. You multiply that times 2 years, that's $10.6 million. So in total of these last 2 years of cuts, cumulatively, we have saved the taxpayers $16 million from what the college could have collected if we just stayed with the flat mill levy. In addition to that, with the fundraising, the money raised specifically for the college portion of the project, we've raised over $43 million. Again, that's money that did not have to be milled or bonded. So we continue to do our best to try and keep the taxes down for our community as much as possible. We, just like everyone else in this room, the college has to deal with and pay consumer price inflation. Right? It affects all of us. I understand that. I get that. From 2021 to 2025, the consumer price index went up 22.3%. 25 is an approximate number. I think it's higher than 2.3 now. Our budget changes since that time have gone up 16.84%. So we're at a 5.46 deficit from the CPI, which equates to about $5.5 million. So we have an additional $5.5 million in expenses just from the CPI that we are absorbing in other ways. If we went revenue neutral this year, again, we would be short 8.5%. That's $8.5 million that we would have to absorb. We don't have that. So there was a great question because we were comparing CPI to the college budget. There was a great question. How does the CPI compare to employee salaries and overtime? So this is a look at the last, I think, 7 years or so. The CPI numbers will be different because the Bureau of Labor Statistics and the government is always making modifications to it. So here in these 7 years, the CPI has gone up 27.43%. Administration and staff are on a different pay schedule in previous years than the faculty. We do have a faculty contract that we abide by. So for our staff and our administration, we're actually losing ground. We're 4% short of even staying up with the cost of living. So there's the cost of living, and then there's a raise. A raise is what is on top of cost of living. Cost of living is just staying equal. being able to continue to pay your bills. In 2020, I was hired in 2018. When I look at the compensation chart, I had conversations with administration and staff and with the faculty leadership. You can see that there was a different scale on the increases. So one of the things that is important to me that we are paid equitably, and that we give raises, cost of living adjustments equally. So you can see from 2020 to 2024 where the numbers on faculty, you need to combine the base and the step, equal the same or very close to the same percentage as our staff and administration. So we're lagging behind in some areas in compensation. Moving on to state and federal revenues. You've seen this chart except for the deep red color, which last week I received an email from the state saying that they're cutting $567,687 to our SB 155 funding, so our Excel and CTE. So just last month, we were planning on a $700,000 cut. Now we're having to plan on a $1.2 million cut, and that's just from the state. So it's everything, there's still a lot of unknown in the budget and what is ahead of us, and we need to be smart about our actions so that we can be prepared if there are any changes. I combined several kind of key important factors onto one slide so we can look at it holistically. So when we look at the anticipated or the already cuts in our federal funding sources, we're looking at about $1.6 million in reductions from the federal. Now, looking at the state cuts, as I mentioned, we went from $700,000 to $1.27 million in cuts overnight with the receipt of just one email. That flows into 2027 to about $2.1 million in reductions. So you take those cuts, and then if you look at every organization, every family, every home has fixed expenses. It may be your rent, or maybe your mortgage, or maybe your car payment, whatever it is. So with the college, there is a 3% salary increase. That's $2.3 million. Every percent is about $800,000. Health insurance will go up about $500,000. Facility insurance pre-flood will go up about $100,000, probably triple that now. Our utilities will go up about $300,000. Our leases on our vehicles and maintenance about $75,000. And contractual expenses, because the college purchases items on contract that may run 5 years. So our networking systems, our IT, our security, those items that are on long-term contracts. So our fixed expenses are about $5.3 million. So you have fixed expenses of $5.3 million. You've got $1.27 million in cuts from the state. You have about $1.5 million cuts from the feds. It adds up. It definitely does add up. 1 mil for this year is about $2.399 million, so $2.4 million. $0.5 mil is about $1.2 million, just so that we're aware of what those changes are. This is a sheet that we've looked at for many months, but we just continually update it with new information that we have. So on this sheet, we have added another 567,000 reductions from our state revenue sources out of SB 155. This first column was last year's budget. The second column was the proposed budget, talking with the college employees, faculty, and staff, and what our needs are to meet our goals in our strategic plan and other items for 2026. We said, okay, definitely we will cut that down instead of increasing the mill. We know other governmental organizations that have gone revenue neutral are now increasing their mills. We're not proposing to increase our mill. The highest is a flat mill. And then the second area is with a 0.5 reduction in the mill rate, and the third area is revenue neutral, which is about 2 mills. So the 2 mill reduction will cut about $5 million out of our funding source on top of everything else, and the half mill is about $1.2 million. So we've spent a lot of time looking at our expenses and what can we do to make reductions to hit these different targets. On paper, it may be a lot easier than it is in actuality. In these first boxes over here that now have a red box around them, those are the different reserves. Wanted to make a note that this column again is the board-approved budget at the end of the budget process. The state sets aside 7.5% each year to go to reserves. We've been setting aside 7% to go to reserves, and now in order to hopefully someday be able to work on the master facility plan, 2% to go there. Strategic opportunities are dollars that the faculty and staff kind of compete for, and what will help us meet our strategic priorities for the institution. So in this first column here, with a flat mill levy, because of the cuts at the federal level, the cuts at the state level, and reducing some of our requests from the proposed budget, we would be cutting $5 million. That's from the proposed. If we want to do a direct comparison to last year's budget, we would still need to cut $1.65 million because of all the reductions in our other revenue sources. A half a mil budget, we would have to cut $6.2 million from proposed, 4.5 from last year. And revenue neutral, we would have to cut $10 million, folks. That's from the proposed, $6.5 million from last year's budget. But as I showed, we are on a growth trend. And we have things that the college has committed to do that I'm a firm believer in meeting your commitments and not stopping halfway, my personal beliefs. We do have salary reductions that are in here as well. Wanted people to understand that if on revenue neutral, it would be about a $1.1 million cut in salaries. If you take the average salary of $65,000 a year plus benefits, that is 13 people. So that would affect 13 people at the college. Downtown, again, we made a commitment in 2020, 2021 that we'll need 9 people down there. So that's 13 plus 9. And as we look at structuring ourselves so that we can have, create I'm looking for a word and I forgot it now. The succession planning, that's about 6 people. So that's, what's that, 22, we're talking 28 individuals that we need to be figuring out how we're going to operate to meet our goals. knowing the numbers that we need and just averaging out the salaries for it. The other reductions you can see significantly cutting to our reserves. That's one of the heaviest areas. Supplies and other operating expenses, that affects faculty, staff, students, because we will not have the resources to do the travel. Students have their own fund, which is collected, but it doesn't cover all their expenses for the year. So it would affect the students as well. We wouldn't be able to buy equipment for the classrooms or update the classrooms as we would like to really have that just a very good learning environment and to have the tools and the technology to support our students so that they can go out there and get those really great high-paying jobs. So these are the different revenue and expense scenarios that we've looked at. With that concludes my presentation for the revenue neutral hearing, and I'd be happy to take any questions from the board members.
All right, thank you, Dr. Mosier. Next item on the agenda for the hearing will be the audience to patrons and petitioners. And before we get into hearing from the public who are here or online, we do have one written statement that we will read. And Dr. Mosier, go ahead when you're ready.
Yes, thank you. We received this today. It's from Mr. Kevin R. Drum, 108 Southwest 25th Street. It's kind of a list of items that he has concerns with, but the overall intent to his letter that he would object to any increases over the budget in relationship to revenue neutral. So he is in favor of revenue neutral, and we will put the entire letter in the packet for us so that we have it documented.
Okay. At this time, I'd invite the public to raise their hands in the chat or approach the podium for the opportunity to address the board. Addressees must state their name and address for the record before making their comment. There is a 3-minute time limit. All right, looks like we've got a sign-in sheet as well, so I will, do we have anyone in the chat first?
No one has raised their hand, so I'm assuming not.
Okay. We will come back to the chat then at the end before we close public comment. And I've got a sign-in sheet here. Thank you for everyone who took the time to do that. And I will go down the list here. It looks like first on the list is Greg Ventello.
Thank you. I'm Greg Ventello. I live in Lawrence, Kansas. I've been a faculty member here for 25 years in the English department. I timed my comments and I got it down to 2 minutes. First, I want to thank you for serving on our board. I recognize that your service is concrete evidence of your commitment to this institution and to our community, especially our community. Fewer and fewer Americans today take care to preserve community, so I thank you. I had the great opportunity to live and work in Japan. And a Japanese characteristic that I admire is their abiding concern for the health and well-being of the community above all else, above individual interests. To be sure, the Japanese can take that priority a little too far. In fact, they have a saying in Japanese. It goes, deru kugi wa utareru. And I want you to know I practiced my Japanese pronunciation and I nailed it. This means the nail that stands up must be hammered down. When carried too far, the Japanese emphasis on community can be stifling and harmful to the individual. However, in the US today, we're doing the exact opposite. We put individual interests above community interests to the detriment of our communities. We've forgotten that public funds should be used for public good. And this overemphasis on the individual is part and parcel of an American myth. The idea that it is up to each individual to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get to work. If you do this, you will rise. It's a beautiful myth, and certainly individual responsibility is very important. But we've carried it too far. And as we lose our community focus, so goes all the opportunities that individuals need to excel and improve their lives.
1 minute.
I understand the attacks on higher education that we're seeing every day, attacks from the White House on down. As a parent, I'm appalled at the cost of college. New York University, for example, recently asked me to pay $100,000 a year for my youngest to attend. It's an absurd number. So I understand that the system is broken. The system is broken. But community colleges aren't the problem. We're part of the solution. Like all community colleges, Kansas City, Kansas Community College is a low-cost and efficient gateway into higher education to learn a trade or to move into a profession. KCK is a public good. Community is in our name. In our deliberations over the budget, I implore you to keep it that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Sage Kiefover.
Good afternoon, board members, faculty, and guests. My name is Sage Kiefover. I live in Leavenworth County, and I am the Student Senate President. The Student Senate has sent out a student perception survey to poll the students on the upcoming vote on the mill levy. We had a total of 208 responses, with 112 students being from Wyandotte County. 149 students, 72%, respond that a flat mill levy would be preferable, while 28% responded that going revenue neutral would be their preference. Students were able to provide their written opinion, and I will now provide 2 quotes from each of the opposing sides. They were selected due to their relevance and their level-headedness. The quotes for the flat mill levy are as follows. The school staff, the instructors, and everyone I have encountered always wants to make sure that they have what is best for students at KCKCC to increase education and experience. I am a nursing major, and we are currently understaffed with instructors, and they are trying their best to provide us with a good education and experience, and they are doing a great job. I think that if the decision for the revenue neutral mill levy, it will, for a lack of a better word, harm the students' education and experience school-wide. The second quote is as follows. I strongly believe that keeping the mill levy flat is the best option for both the students and the prospective community. While revenue neutral will keep property taxes from rising, the deeper $9.3 million cut would significantly reduce student opportunities, classroom resources, and support services. A flat levy limits the cuts to $4.5 million, which will require adjustments, but better preserves the quality of education and training that KCKCC provides. Stronger programs not only benefit students, but will also help Wyandotte County by providing more skilled workforce and attracting growth to the area. In the long run, retaining this college's strength benefits both students and residents. The quotes for the going over revenue neutral are as follows. Revenue neutral would help loads more people because years ago you could afford to live on your own even if you made minimum wage, but now working as a nurse who makes $50 an hour doing 10+ hour shifts, it's still not enough to be able to buy a house in most places. The second quote is as follows. My property taxes are more expensive than they should be. I am not in favor of anything that would make it harder for me to keep my house. This is direct data from the perception survey. This is not representative of the opinion of the Student Senate. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have Sister Teresa Seaton.
Good evening. My name is Sister Teresa Seaton, and I'm currently a 3rd semester RN student, and I was formerly a student here in 2012. Part of the reason I returned to KCKCC was that there were a variety of options to finish up my prereqs and continue my education. Students interested in competitive programs like the nursing program may already have to wait 6 months if they're not accepted the first time they apply. When considering a $5 million cut versus a $9 million cut, my concern would be that the impact it has on the ability of students to be able to reach their goals of education and graduation in a timely manner, especially when they're making sacrifices to be at work, to be away from their family, to dedicate time to school. So I just suggest that you keep students, the sacrifice students make in mind in that regard. Also, I have a concern with the ability of our school to be able to properly staff the programs, or the budget cuts may impact moving from in-person to online options. From what I've experienced in the nursing program, there's definitely a benefit to having hands-on experience and being in a classroom and lab settings. It gives the students an opportunity to have hands-on experience, but also to build relationships with one another, and then to stay on track, which I could see as an online version. It's a little harder for students to do that. This semester, I've been helping my fellow classmates who've needed some help navigating our online resources that we use for our in-person classes. This has really opened my eyes to the time commitment our instructors have apart from being in the classroom, whether it's answering an email or spending some extra time with a student in need, or directing the resources available on campus. The workload our instructors have in helping us be successful should be considered regarding future budget cuts. Another important aspect, as was mentioned earlier, is adequate study space and technology on campus. As we've experienced this semester, reliable Wi-Fi and network is not like something extra, right? This is an essential thing that we need just even to get through in-person classes, right? If the network goes down, we're pretty much at a loss. In addition, the updates that have been made to like the Learnings Commons have been really helpful, but I still feel that there is a lack in adequate space for study groups or individual quiet study areas in comparison with the amount of students that are on campus. Students kind of hop from one place to another when there are events happening, and they're looking for just a place to get their homework done away from school, or even away from their home setting. Before finishing, I just want to point out that the budget cuts not only impact students, as was stressed earlier, or faculty, but it also affects the number of people within our community that can proudly say that they received their education here and they're giving back to the local community.
Thank you, but we've hit the time limit. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have Dr. Candace Scott.
Good evening, board members and committee members. I'm Dr. Candace Scott, an employee here at Kansas City, Kansas Community College. I serve as the Assistant Director of International Immigrant Student Services. My office supports the recruitment of international students while also creating programs that allow domestic scholars to engage in global learning. We prepare students to thrive in an interconnected world and to cultivate leaders who advance cross-cultural understanding and build a more sustainable global community. This past July, our domestic students traveled to Peru. For many, it was their first time outside the country, offering cultural immersion and transformative personal growth. Through hands-on learning, they gained skills to prepare them to succeed in today's global workforce. At the same time, we are expanding across access through collaborative online international learning, or COIL, which brings international perspectives directly into classrooms for students who may never have the opportunity to travel. Together, these approaches ensure that all students benefit from global education. I'm partnering with local organizations that bring foreign exchange high school students to the area for 2 weeks. While we do not host the students, we will offer a full day of presentations and guided campus tours providing them with an immersive introduction to KCKCC and helping them envision our school as their college of choice. The results of these efforts are clear. International enrollment increased by 24% from spring 25 to fall 25. This growth generates tuition revenue, strengthens retention, and enriches our campus community. We are building international partnerships that create new pathways for students, faculty, and workforce collaborations. The initiatives advance goal number 2 of our strategic plan by aligning programs with workforce needs, supporting strong in-field placement
1
rates,
minute.
and connecting curriculum to real industry data. In short, international education is central to enrollment growth and workforce readiness. Continued support will allow us to sustain measurable results for students, employers, and the community. Budget cuts at this critical moment will slow our progress and risk reversing the momentum we built. Thank you for your commitment to preparing our students not only for careers, but for leadership in global society.
Excuse me, Chair, could I just make a comment? Only the first 2 have told us where they're from, and I think that's supposed to be part of it. They're supposed to tell us where they're from.
Good reminder, thank you. Yes, if speakers would please remember to state your name and address at the beginning of your comments, appreciate it. And we do have it for the record on the sign-in sheet as well, though. Next on the list would be Dr. Gina Rogers.
She wasn't able to be here. She gave me her statement to read, and I wrote
there's-
her name down, Gina Ross.
Since we've got a written statement, same speaker, is there any objection from board members? Yeah, please proceed.
Go ahead.
Okay. Were you wanting to read it or just give
Yes,
us the statement?
read it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, all right.
Who are you reading for?
It's for Dr. Gina Ross.
Thank you.
She says, I have been at KCKCC for 10 years. I started out teaching business, and today I serve as Director of Student Support for Program Success while also teaching political science. In my political science classes, I teach students about civic engagement, how decisions made in rooms like this one directly impact people's lives. Tonight is one of those moments. The choice about this budget will affect not just faculty and staff, but students, families, and the future of this institution. I also want to say to our community members here, I hear you. I know rising costs and taxes are tough on everyone. We all feel that pressure. At the same time, this college is an investment in people. Every student who leaves here, no matter where they go, carries the skills, knowledge, and confidence they gained at KCKCC. That success reflects back on our college and shows the strength of this community. Some of my former students still reach out years later to share where life has taken them. Their stories remind me that this college changes lives in ways that last far beyond graduation. That's what your support makes possible. When I first started here, I had a student who was deeply depressed and suicidal. Some of us professors are more than instructors, we are lifelines. I encouraged her, spoke hope into her life, and helped her to see her future. She finished her program, and today she is a mother and doing well. At our Leavenworth campus, I taught students who have never left their hometown. I arranged field trips to the Nelson Atkins Museum, to career centers, and to customer service sites in Kansas City and other local areas. For many, those were eye-opening, life-changing experiences they will never forget. If we face $9 million in cuts, opportunities like these will shrink. By exceeding revenue neutral, we can minimize those cuts and continue creating life-changing opportunities for students. We're not asking for extras, we're asking for sustainability. When KCKCC thrives, it lifts people up, and that's something we can all be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list, we have Nicholas Segura.
Good evening, everyone.
Name and address, please.
Nicholas Segura. I am a native of Kansas City, Kansas, but now I'm living in Kansas City, Missouri. I was thinking about coming to speak to you all this evening, and I was thinking about something that no one knows about me, which is that when I started here at the community college, I started as a student who had no self-esteem, who had a negative view of oneself. And I thought about the teachers and the staff that I connected with who helped me to become the person I am today. There were teachers like, or deans like Jean Walker, who was the dean of community education building, who gave me an internship at her office. The art teachers, my professor Jaleh Ardebili of my French class, who helped me to see who I could be. I remember at the time my mom was trying to get me to go into the military and take the easy way out. My friend said, no, you're too smart for that. And I'm so glad that they did that. But my teachers and the staff here at this college helped me to see that. They helped me to see what was possible. And now I am a contributing member to society. I get to work with the Chamber of Commerce here in Kansas City, Kansas as a board member. I've worked with the Kansas City, Kansas Community College by giving back to this college as just a vendor, as well as always asking the college to say, when you need someone to talk to students, call me, because I want to tell them about what this college is capable of doing for you. And so as you all are thinking about budgets like this, I think about the two words that really resound with me, which is community college. How this college is built for this community to help raise up individuals, to inspire them to see what they can become. And so I know that I give as much as I can back to this community college because it has really done for me to inspire me what I could become. And I try to give back to the students around here in this Kansas City, Kansas area, especially with students becoming, with the Kansas City, Kansas public school body becoming 65% Hispanic. That's changing our community, and so I'm trying to give back. So when it comes to this budget, I want you all to think about investing in our community college, because I know that that's an investment in our community. And so I thank you all for your work and your volunteering.
Thank you. Next, we have Candace Starks Haynes. Okay. Aiden Graber.
Howdy, my name is Aiden Graber. I live in Wyandotte. I'm currently enrolled in the KCKCC Tech HVAC program. What I'm here today to talk about is these budget cuts could affect all of our tech programs very heavily, and that's something that I truly believe in. So here at KCKCC, I've never been an inside person. I've never been able to work inside, so this tech program has helped me a lot in being hands-on. With this class, and the material is very expensive that I myself cannot afford. This program has given me the opportunity to go straight into the workforce and be able to be hands-on and learn what I need to learn. So with what I've put together from these budget cuts is we won't be able to afford or be able to provide the type of learning that we need, especially not just in HVAC, but in the construction and automotive tech especially. The equipment that we have now and currently getting sometimes isn't enough, but it's getting us by. We have a very strong for trial and error is the best way to work, especially here in school, so I'm not doing trial and error in the future. But with these budget cuts, a lot of the stuff that we're using, everybody acknowledges the increase in everything, tools, equipment prices, furnaces, and everything, that we won't be able to work in trial and error, and we won't be able to learn. A lot of people can't learn like that. I myself have to do trial and error, and I don't mind admitting that. But this process helps us excel and be better for the future workforce. I know a bunch of my other classmates only work like that, only provide like that. There's just, I see so much in the program, and what I've been given to have this opportunity coming into this year has been great, and I would appreciate if future classes, not just for HVAC, but for any other program, even classes here at the main campus could have that same opportunity that I've had this year, would be great for me, because I do enjoy this college, and I enjoy my time at KCKCC Tech. I enjoy my facilitators, everybody. So I just wish the same opportunity that I have here, with all the abilities that I have to use and have at my disposal here at school for my future, I wish that upon all the future classes everywhere. So that's all I have for me. Thank you, guys.
Next is, I believe it's Brianna Jones.
Hi, my name is Brenna Jones, and I am from Weston in Platte County. This is my 6th semester here at KCKCC, and I'm a digital design major. I'm a member of the Pi Theta Kappa Honor Society, the vice president of the art club, and I'm also a professional freelance graphic designer. I'd like to thank all of you for letting me speak here today, and to all the community members that have come out. I'm here because this college, the staff, and all of its amazing opportunities have been life-changing for me. And I believe everybody in this community deserves the same access and opportunity to these programs that have had such a monumental impact. For a long time, I never thought I'd have the opportunity to attend higher education due to health problems, and I'm really glad to say that I'm 9 credits away from receiving my Applied Associates in Digital Design. The school and its students will be devastated by the decision to go revenue neutral, and having $9 million cut from our already tight budget would impact us in so many ways. As an art student, I can attest that any cuts in funding to our programs would mean us losing access to and are being unable to upgrade vital technology and software that are required for our career fields. It means that its community and students academically and artistically will be devastated. Programs, classes could be cut, and opportunities will be lost. Students like me who lead clubs, volunteer, and plan to stay and work here are proof your investment pays off. I've had the opportunity to launch my own successful freelance business because of the opportunities this school has provided me, and it's devastating that students that come in the future could lose those same opportunities that I have had because of these revenue cuts. Please keep students at the center and support the flat mill levy option to avoid deeper harm to programs and student opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Lorelei Cruid. If I'm getting names wrong, I apologize. I'm trying to read handwriting, and it's the first time I pronounced these, so sorry if I messed up.
Okay. My name is Lorelei Cruid. I currently live in Leavenworth. I've been attending KCKCC since January 2023. After I transferred here from the University of Kansas School of Music, I joined the Studio Arts program. I found a highly qualified, highly compassionate team of professors and adjuncts. I quickly found my place within the art program and the art club, eventually serving as the secretary, vice president, and finally as the president for the entirety of the last school year. I was also fortunate to be a work study in the art gallery under Shy Perry last school year, which helped prepare me to get my job 1 week after I graduated this past spring. During my time at KCKCC, I have been extremely impressed with what the department and gallery have been able to accomplish and the way they foster their students' abilities given what they have available. I return this fall to continue receiving mentorship and further develop my art. For as long as I have been involved in fine arts, whether that be music and theater in my past or ceramics now, I have spent equal time honing my skill and fighting to have the best quality education possible. The faculty in the art department have fought hard for us too. These past 2 years have afforded me so many incredible experiences and opportunities that I know wouldn't have been possible if not for the planning and scrimping that our advisors already do. Our classes this semester are the fullest I have ever seen them. The campus is always abuzz. A flat mill levy, $5 million cut would already require that we sacrifice some quality when it comes to our equipment, classrooms, and supplies. I have watched as our professors and advisors scrounge for every supply, piece of equipment, and activity that we could have, while concurrently watching other community colleges prioritize their students' facilities. I want that for us. A revenue-neutral $9 million cut would truly disadvantage the quality of our learning and thus the quality of our education, the very thing that I based my decision on when I transferred to this campus in 2023. Please,
1 minute.
don't devalue your faculty by cheating them of the facilities where their students can thrive. And don't devalue your students by diminishing our educational opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list, Camp Cunningham.
Hi, my name is Camp Cunningham. I am from Kearney, Missouri in Clay County. I'm in my second year here at KCK as a business major. I'm part of the baseball team and on Phi Theta Kappa, the Honor Society. I've had nothing but positive experiences here at KCK with classes, professors, and living on campus. One of the professors that I've had a good connection with who got me to speak here today was Professor Lockschmidt. She does an outstanding job within the classroom and outside of it. I'd just like to thank her. I think there are a lot of great resources here at KCK that are very helpful, not only to me, but to other students as well. One of the places I use quite often is the Wellness Center. I think it's a great place to stay active, connect with others, and something that is, excuse me, that everyone in the community benefits from. It is more than just a gym. They have multiple events ranging from yoga to the Blue Devil 5K. I would love to see this place grow and not shrink from the cuts. Another essential area that I know is used by most is the Learning Commons. Myself and the entire baseball team have used it. For me, it is a place where I know I can go to study and work quietly. I live in a dorm with 3 other guys, which can get loud, and a place like this is a need for me. Also, the writing center is great. I've heard many of my fellow students and teammates talk about how it helped them be more confident in their writing and become better writers. If funding cuts reduce the number of tutors or availability, students and myself may lose access to this one-on-one support that makes this resource so valuable. Those are only 2 examples for me personally, but there are so many other resources and programs here that help students. In addition, the other fields such as tech programs and health professions heavily rely on updated equipment and spaces. Without proper funding, they could lose out on proper training or education. From athletics to academics, KCK gives students a footing to grow and take pride in our college and builds them to do great things with their lives. When making this tough decision, students should be put first and choose the flat mill levy rate rather than a $9 million cut that would take opportunities and qualities away from students here. Please support
1
the budget
minute.
option to make the student success the main priority. I want to end by thanking the board for letting me speak here today.
Thank you. Next, Ben Hayes.
Thank you. My name's Ben Hayes, and I am a Wyandotte County resident. I had some things I was going to say, but you've already heard from the most important people, and that's these students. I ask you to do one thing. When you consider this, think about the impact it's going to have on the trajectory of these kids' lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Scott Elliott.
Hi, my name is Scott Elliott. I live in Tonganoxie. I'm a professor of communication here, and I'm violating most of the principles I teach my public speaking students. Today, I had a student give a speech on why she felt so privileged to have access to college. She's the daughter of immigrants. And I listened to her speech. She was talking about breaking the cycle of poverty. And it was just amazing the amount of evidence that she had to support her position, and about how college was her first step in terms of meeting the American dream. And in fact, I asked her to send me some of those sites so I could cite them to you. But y'all already have all the evidence. You already have all the data. I think the key thing that y'all need to be thinking about is how you make your decision tonight. And I like to use the standard that the Iroquois Nation has, which is 7 generations. We've already been here 100 years. You need to be making a decision that lasts for another 100 years. There are children that haven't been born yet that are going to be students. And you have responsibilities to students who haven't been born yet. And the cuts that you're about to make, if you choose to make those cuts, will devastate this college. And it's going to be really difficult, if not impossible, to recover, or it's going to take decades to recover from cuts that are that deep. And so when you come to a decision, you have the data, you have the facts, you need to be thinking about not just generations now and the short-term political expediency, but the long-term implications of what's going on. Education is under attack throughout this country. People are giving all types of attacks for unwarranted reasons. We offer valuable services not only to the students, but to the community. The return on investment is just overwhelming. Think about the long-term impact. And when you think about the long-term impact and future generations of students, I know you're going to come to the right decision, and you'll vote to not cut the budget as much as what some people are proposing. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Colin Verhulst.
Hello all. My name is Colin Verhulst. I live off 8458 Mara Road in Lenexa, Kansas. I'm a student of the Fire Science and EMS programs here at KCKCC. Right now, we have a flat mill levy that would mean about a $5 million reduction to the budget. That's already challenging. Some requests won't be funded, facility upgrades may be deferred, and equipment purchases may be limited. But going fully revenue neutral would nearly double that reduction to $9 million, and that difference is profound to students. In fire science and EMS, our education depends on immersive, hands-on training with the proper equipment. My classmates and I truly valued our time here conducting live burns, practicing ladders, time bunker gear donning and doffing, team building exercises, and using rescue equipment such as a Halligan and a chainsaw. Those experiences instilled confidence and prepared us for high-stakes, real-world emergencies. We were also fortunate to learn from exceptional instructors who contributed decades of personal experience to the classroom. They were always supportive and their professional insights provided knowledge far beyond what any textbook could offer. Without updated facilities, modern equipment, and sufficient faculty support, future students may not receive the same rigorous and high-quality training we did. At $9 million in reductions, the college would struggle to modernize laboratories, acquire the gear we depend on, or recruit enough faculty. That could result in fewer course offerings, increased class sizes, and delays in critical programs like fire science, EMS, and other technical fields our community relies upon. KCKCC has provided my classmates and me with an education we are proud of, an experience that is comprehensive, challenging, and enriched by outstanding instructors, but significant budget cuts jeopardize those opportunities for the students who will follow us. I know you face a difficult decision, but I respectfully request you keep the students at the forefront. A $5 million reduction already requires sacrifice, and $9 million one cut goes too far. The difference between those numbers is the difference between shared sacrifice and enduring harm to students, to academic programs, and to the reputation of this college. Thank you for your time and for considering the impact on those seeking and pursuing education here at KCKCC.
Thank you. Next up, Susie Towsey.
Good evening. I'm Susie Towsey. I live in Osawatomie, Kansas. Do you need the whole address, or is that good?
I've got them written since you did
Okay.
it in advance. Thank you.
So thank you for allowing me to speak this evening. As the criminal justice coordinator, I've been serving this college for 6 years. I wanted to share why staying revenue neutral would harm our ability to serve students and ultimately the community. Some taxpayers have made mention that they'll never personally use the college, but the truth is they already do. Every time that they go to the doctor's office or get a car repaired, or they have a interaction with the first responder, there's a good chance that they've already been helped by somebody who has been trained right here at KCKCC. Our graduates are woven into the fabric of Wyandotte County, workforce in healthcare and law enforcement and small businesses. So when we freeze revenue, we freeze progress. Costs go up every year. And faculty, equipment, utilities staying revenue neutral will mean that we'll fall behind. That means that fewer class offerings, delayed technology upgrades, and the reduction in student support services, which hurts not only the students, but the workforce in the community. Maintaining adequate revenue ensures that we can keep class sizes small, upgrade labs, prepare students with the skills that local businesses need, and then invest in KCKCC is not just an investment in students, it's an investment in the shared community, better healthcare, stronger economy, and a community overall. So revenue neutral sounds good on paper, but in practice, it means less opportunities for our students and fewer professionals in our community, and our students and our taxpayers deserve better. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Darren Elliott.
Thank you. Darren Elliott, I live in Olathe, Kansas. I've been a faculty member here for 22 years, and I would like to start off echoing what Dr. Ventello said at the beginning, which is to thank each of you for your service to this board. Your commitment is beyond reproach, and whatever decisions you make and whether you agree or disagree, we know that your commitment to the community and to these students is without question. You have a tough decision tonight, and the fact that that decision is in your hands does not make me envious of you. However, I do want to speak tonight on the value of increasing or passing a budget that will exceed revenue neutral. As faculty members, we're in the classroom every day. We teach these students, as Susie said, that become your firefighters, your doctors, your nurses, your legal counsel, your police officers, and your small business owners. Every one of these professions greatly impacts this community in ways that are immeasurable until you need them. I'm proud of our students, the number of students that have shown up tonight to support this cause and to know that the future of this college and the budget hangs in the balance for their success. You've seen the slides, you know that community colleges promote and provide safety for communities. There's a direct correlation between the existence of a community college and a community and the decrease in crime rates. There's a direct correlation between the existence of community colleges and the increases in revenue that those community colleges provide. And those are important statistics. For every $1 million invested, approximately $400,000 to $600,000 in income is created, which is a return on investment that's more significant than anything you could possibly imagine in any other place you would spend your money. Our faculty are excited to work with our students. Today, I hosted 75 high school students on this campus, and Thursday I'll host 150 middle school students. And the excitement I see from those students roaming our halls, because they're the future students of this college, means a lot. Scott spoke a little bit ago, and we actually always say this to our students that we have in our program, and he told you today, you have a responsibility to people that haven't been born yet, that people that are going to come along in the future need this college, and they need the money and the investment to make them successful. I also want to just say briefly that I noticed in the discussions about the college and the community, there are a lot of personal attacks that are made. These personal attacks show a misunderstanding of what we do. As union president, I've disagreed with the college president on numerous occasions, but both of us are committed to the success of these students. And I know that the president and Dr. Baylog and the other administrators work hard in this community. And for folks to attack them and to drag them down on social media shows a willful ignorance to what is actually going on at this college. So while they're out there uplifting others, others seek to downgrade and to demoralize, and that's not what we're about here. We will continue to do the work here. We will continue to turn out successful students. And we hope that tonight, each of you will help us in that mission by voting to exceed revenue neutral. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Next up, Emily Lopez.
Hi, I'm Emily Lopez. I'm a Wyandotte County resident. I live right over on Speaker Road, but you have that. I start by saying something, I've heard if you give a guy a fish, you feed him for a day, and if you teach him to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. I'd add into that, if we bring equity into the equation, if he doesn't have the equipment, doesn't matter what you taught him, he still can't fish. So if we ignore DEI, that's just not only bad math, but it's irresponsible. I'm gonna try and get through my story, but I'm internally panicking. I was born and raised in KCK and thus have a little bit more than a dot pride. Most of this board can say the same. I've been a student at KCK 2 times in the past 15 years. The first time as a young first-time mother. I studied psychology and human development because I saw things in my childhood that I knew I had a better chance of preventing if I could understand how our brains worked and why people are the way that they are, including children. In this, I found not only one of my best professors I've had in my lifetime, but a mentor. He wears the fancy red suspenders. I'm sure you've seen him. I've been able to return to him even 10 years later with hard questions about my life and be received with an open door, even if I have to walk briskly with him all the way down the hall. I'm now a return student in the electrical technology program, mother of 6, and pursuing further education in a sustainable field. I became a single mother in 2020 and I was homeless, had only just started a full-time job. By 2023, I was at the top tier of that pay potential at that time and still could not make enough money to cover my expenses. And to be clear, I am a budget master and a queen of the thrift store. I made do by taking on side jobs, donating plasma, and I was still laid off in 2024. After much consideration, I applied for the upcoming semester of the electrical technology. I watched 5 kids 7 days a week in lieu of finding a job that would work outside of school hours. It was more than a struggle. My house was nearly sold for its tax value. I could not afford to fix my vehicle after it was stolen.
1 minute.
I received assistance from the program in the form of loaned tools during classes, even a loaned textbook after it had been damaged when my car was stolen. I also received utility assistance from the foundation. My professor, as long as I communicated, was graceful when I had to arrive 10 to 15 minutes late daily so I could get my 3 elementary kids on the school bus every morning. You gave me 1 minute. I've got to skip all of this. I would say through just a serendipitous event, I happened to meet someone in maintenance at the warehouse job that I got. That warehouse job was breaking my body and my spirit. But I happened to meet somebody, they said they were hiring. I got an interview. They looked at what the school was teaching me. They looked at my school schedule and saw that I would soon learn what I needed to do that job. They had faith in me and they gave me that position. I am now making the same amount of money at an entry-level position there as I was making at the top tier of my last job. Not only that, but I still have yet to complete this program and have a lot of going up to do from there. So I'm excited to
Time
do that.
limit.
Did you say I'm done? Okay, all right, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Greg Kendall.
Good evening, Chairman, trustees, KCKCC colleagues. I'm Greg Kendall, President of the Wyandotte Economic Development Council and a resident here of KCK. Thank you for the opportunity to speak in support of exceeding the revenue neutral rate. If that's what's required to keep moving the needle forward, we need KCKCC to fund programs critical to growing our economy. No one likes taxes. I don't like taxes. There's a great responsibility for dealing with taxpayer money. But I've seen firsthand, I work with your teams here at KCKCC. It's not just an educational institution. It's a strategic driver of economic mobility, workforce development, and community transformation. Community colleges like KCKCC are essential to lifting individuals out of poverty into high-wage careers. Nearly half of all low-income students begin their college journey at community colleges, and the return on investment is substantial. Students who earn certificates or associate degrees are see earnings gains for every dollar you all invest. And these credentials are not only affordable, but they're effective. Job placement rates for associate degree and certificate holders are among the highest in post-secondary education. KCKCC's impact is amplified through its training partnerships with companies like Orange EV, Central Solutions, and Marvin Windows, and through programs like the Federation for Advanced Manufacturing Education. These initiatives and many others ensure that our workforce is aligned with industry needs and that residents are prepared for high-demand, high-wage jobs in advanced manufacturing, healthcare, and technology. The college plays a critical role in early talent development through the various academy programs embedded in our Wyandotte County school districts. These programs create seamless pathways from high school to college to career, helping students envision and achieve futures that were once out of reach. These career pathways student tours have exposed more than 650 of our high school students to high-wage opportunities and companies here in Wyandotte County with KCKCC support. The broader economic impact is undeniable, as Dr. Mosier presented earlier.
1 minute.
Locally, Wyandotte County now ranks second in Kansas for wages paid. a reflection of our strategic investments in workforce development and talent cultivation, investments in which KCKCC is a central player and has a central role in. The key now is to connect our residents to the high-wage jobs in Wyandotte County through training, with KCKCC as our key partner in this effort. Approving this budget and exceeding the revenue neutral rate is not just a financial decision. It is a commitment to equity, opportunity, and long-term prosperity. It ensures that KCKCC can continue to provide the programs, partnerships, and pathways to transform lives and strengthens our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Matt Watkins.
Good afternoon, trustees, Dr. Mosier, and staff. Thank you all for the opportunity to talk. My name's Matt Watkins. I live here in Wyandotte County at 4023 North 111th Street. I'm going to make this quick because I'm running out to coach some soccer here just over at your field. So thank you for the opportunity for the Piper Soccer Club to use the investment in the fields here at KCKCC. I want to first off offer a thank you to everyone who sits on this board and for your service to the community and the college. I know you face tough decisions. And at every turn, when it comes to budgets and spending, those decisions get tougher and tougher. Challenges will not stop. The conversation will continue to get louder. As we make these hard decisions that move us forward, I trust that you are making the right decisions. I'm a business owner here, a volunteer in this community, and one of my volunteer roles is with the Community College Foundation Board. I've been on this board for the duration of the fundraising efforts for the downtown campus, the groundbreaking, and the topping out ceremony, which was a lot of fun. So, but I applaud you for the vision. I applaud Dr. Mosier for his leadership to put this in this journey. And this gives me a front row seat to see and continue to champion the efforts of this body and the community college. I'm here tonight to encourage you to continue to invest in this institution. I know my tax dollars are at work here, and like any growing business or organization, we need to continue to invest in our buildings, staff, and the future of KCKCC. I know you'll hear opinions that ask you to cut or hold the line on that investment. I'm here to encourage you to continue to invest in KCKCC, even if that means exceeding the mill levy. I stand with many others who I talk to and those that I do business with in our community, and this decision to fund the college at a level that continues the success of KCKCC. Please know that there are other strong voices. You will hear them that continue to support this decision and your decision tonight to properly fund the college and exceed, if necessary, that mill levy. They may not be loud, but they are in support of the community and our future by funding this institution at a level that competes in today's market. I want KCKCC to compete and lead in the metro region, and I'm confident in the leadership of this board to fund the college at a level that helps us compete and lead into the future. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there was one name on the list that I had called earlier, so I'll just give one more opportunity for Candace Starks Haynes. Okay, that does it for the list that we had who pre-signed up, so now we will take any speakers who did not have the opportunity to sign up previously.
Good evening, Board, Trustees. Thank you for allowing me to speak to our KCKCC community. I am greatly appreciative that I can represent you all, and Dr. Mosier, thank you. I will be reading, sorry.
If we could just get your name and address.
Yes, I'm
for
so
the
excited to
record,
read
since
this
I don't
statement.
have it already.
Ashley Irvin, I'm the Interim Dean of Career and Technical Education here at the college. I do reside in Jackson County. However, I proudly serve Wyandotte County for the last 11.5 years. Thank you. So I will be reading a statement from our skilled machine technicians to demonstrate our impact to effectively use our resources and serve our international partners. When I first stepped into the apprentice program, I already had a degree in chemical and materials engineering, but I lacked experience in electrical wiring AC/DC circuits, motor control, and PLCs, which left me behind compared to others with hands-on technical backgrounds. But the apprenticeship program was my turning point. I learned how to wire circuits, troubleshoot motor control panels, program PLCs, and tune PID loops and integrate control systems hands-on in the workshops. The program gave me something more valuable than just technical knowledge. It gave me confidence and direction. By the end, I didn't fill the gap in my skills, but built a new professional identity, which will never happen if it was not for this apprenticeship program. The skills I've learned from the apprenticeship program helped me receive a standing offer as a process engineer at the end of the program, something I couldn't have imagined at the start in this short period of time. If I can go from zero background in electrical and automation to a professional role in a process control, then anyone willing to learn, practice, and stay committed can achieve the same. I am very grateful for Panasonic and all people involved in the program to provide me with this opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to share this statement.
Thank you. Any other speakers in the crowd? Okay, and did we have anyone join the chat and raise their hand?
Yes, we did.
Okay, I don't have
Mr.
that
Paul
list,
Christopher.
so. Good. Did you call the first name? I'm sorry.
Yes, Mr. Paul Christopher.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm Teresa Christopher. I'm his wife. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello. I'm Teresa Christopher, Paul's wife. We live at 2000 South 49th Street, Kansas City, Kansas. And I'm a former educator for 42 years. I'd like to retire, but I can't. We have a home that we've lived in since 1979. And our taxes go up every year. It's a tax on unrealized gain. When you get a 401k, you pay taxes when you take out some of that money. We pay taxes every year. You're stealing our equity in our home that we've built since 1979. We put a lot of work and sweat into it. And I bet if you went to those students, I'm not discouraging a good education. I am all for that, but there's got to be a different way. If you went to those students and said, hey, we can raise this up, but people are going to lose their homes because they can't afford the rising prices. Retirees don't have that much money. Retirees can't afford to keep on raising. It's a theft of our equity. We should not have to pay that until our houses are sold. Just like your 401k. If you're going to take my equity, then you should pay taxes on your 401k before that's realized gain. It's just unfair, and I vote against that. All of that tax is way too much. Seniors need a break, and so do regular people. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers on Zoom?
No, that's all.
Thank you. All right, that does it for the audience to patrons and petitioners. So we have a bit of a process for what comes next. When we make a motion for the resolution to exceed the revenue neutral rate, at that time we would get a motion and a second and then open it for discussion. At that point, the board would be welcome to make any cases that we're wanting to discuss together. If you are just wanting to read a statement or make a statement in relation to your vote, I would suggest that we wait until right before you make your vote, which will be by roll call. If that makes sense. I think that will keep order and keep us moving. So Next, I will invite the presentation of the resolution to exceed revenue neutral rate presented by Dr. Patrick Schulte, Vice President of Finance and Operations.
Thank you. And I will read through the resolution for you all now. A resolution expressing the property taxation policy of Kansas City, Kansas Community College with respect to exceeding the revenue neutral rate for financing the annual budget for 25-26. Whereas KSA 79-2988 provides that a levy of property taxes to finance the 25-26 budget of Kansas City, Kansas Community College exceeds the revenue neutral rate to finance the 25-26 budget of the Kansas City, Kansas Community College be authorized by a resolution. And whereas the Board of Trustees of Kansas City, Kansas Community College held a hearing on September 16th, 2025, allowing all interested taxpayers desiring to be heard an opportunity to give oral testimony. And whereas the Board of Trustees of Kansas City, Kansas Community College, having heard testimony, still finds it necessary to exceed the revenue neutral rate. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Kansas City, Kansas Community College that the 2025-2026 budget with a levy of property taxes exceeding the revenue neutral rate calculated for the 2025-2026 as adjusted pursuant to KSA 79-2988 is hereby adopted. Adopted the 16th day of September 2025 by the Board of Trustees of the Kansas City, Kansas Community College in Wyandotte County, Kansas.
Thank you. At this time, I call for a motion to approve the resolution to exceed the revenue neutral rate.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I will do a roll call vote. Mary Ricketts?
Yes.
Dawn Ash?
Yes.
Evelyn Criswell?
Yes.
Mark Gilstrap?
No.
Linda Hoskins Sutton?
No.
Dr. Brenda Scruggs Andreu?
Are you wanting a comment now or after?
You're welcome to make your comment now, yes.
Okay. I very much appreciated the presentations that people gave tonight, and I certainly value the educational experiences they had. However, very few of those people were residents and taxpayers, property owners from Wyandotte County. There are about 105 counties in the state of Kansas, and the county that has the least amount of income is Wyandotte County. The average income for Wyandotte County is about $43,000. Now, what is also happening, the presenter over the tel said something about property being stolen. It's absolutely true. What's happening is, something was said about the college needing about 23% more because of the income tax, whatever. Wyandotte County residents have the lowest income, as I mentioned before. Of 105 counties, they are the lowest as far as income, with an average salary of about $43,000 a year. So they're not having this increase of 20-some whatever. And what happens is that Wyandotte County, they have, when people can't pay their taxes, they have tax sales. Now, I grew up in Kansas City, and my grandparents and great-grandparents were all here. And they all lived in these little houses around here. They were very proud of their houses. And they owned those houses. Now what you see is there are a lot of lots. What happens in Wyandotte County is when people can't pay their taxes and they put them up for auction and nobody bids on them, they tear the house down. What are they hoping to do? They're hoping that they can sell those houses to large corporations, which they have, and build up these apartment buildings, and then people can move in for subsidized. And eventually, I believe what will happen, because the county of the 105 counties with the largest income is our adjacent one that we always mimic our college after, and that's Johnson County. They have the most money. But we're sitting between Johnson County and Kansas City, Missouri. So this is prime real estate, and they're stealing it all. And I don't, even though I value the educational, but I also value the people who live here, who are older people a lot of times, and you talk about education. Most of the students I hear, I'm sure there's some Wyandotte County students, but there are a bunch of students who come out of are not from Wyandotte County. So it's not improving the level of Wyandotte County students. So those are the reasons that I am voting against this proposal.
Thank you. Last vote is myself, and I will just say that I appreciate everyone who has come and spoke before us this evening, especially our students, that I could not be more proud of you making your voice heard and making sure that you are speaking up for yourself, your colleagues, what you need to be successful. One of the speakers, and I apologize, I don't recall which one at this point, but they made a fantastic point that even those who don't use the college directly benefit from it in one way or another every single day. And I think our community sometimes forgets that when the bills are on the kitchen table. It's hard, people are trying to make decisions. I get it. No one likes taxes, as someone else has said. No one enjoys that, but we do have to prioritize the things that are investments in our community, investments in our kids, our students, our adult learners, and those, as someone else said, who haven't even been born yet. So I am proud to make a yes vote this evening, and that motion carries. All right, we are ready to adjourn the revenue neutral rate hearing. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, I would like to call the Kansas City, Kansas Community College Board of Trustees budget hearing to order this Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. Cheryl, could we have roll call, please?
Trustee Ash.
Here.
Trustee Criswell.
Here.
Trustee Gilstrap.
Here.
Trustee Hoskins Sutton.
Here.
Chair Isnard.
Here.
Vice Chair Ricketts.
Here.
Trustee Scruggs Andrew.
Here.
Thank you. As part of the budget hearing, we will also have an audience to patrons and petitioners. At this time, I'd invite the public to raise their hands in the chat or approach the podium for the opportunity to address the board. Addressees must state their name and address for the record before making their comment or question, and there is a 3-minute time limit. Do we have any additional speakers that would like to speak at this hearing, even if you had spoken at the previous? Anyone in the chat?
There's no one in the chat.
All right, seeing none approaching the podium and none in the chat, we will move past the audience to patrons and petitioners, and I would invite the presentation of the proposed budget for fiscal year 2026 presented by Dr. Schulte.
Good evening, everyone.
Could you go ahead and switch screens, please? Thank you.
All right. And I think Dr. Mosier will move this forward for me. So I'm not sure if you want to go directly to the budget slide, and I think it's in your packet as well. So I present tonight for your consideration the FY 25-26 annual budget of $136,729,692. This budget is a culmination of many months of work by the administration of the college with a focus on the college's strategic plan. We present a fully balanced operating budget that incorporates the remaining board-approved $30 million for the Kansas City, Kansas Community Education, Health, and Wellness Center and the board-approved allocation per the recent flood. On the revenue side, the administration set a goal to keep our local tuition price affordable for our residents. The FY26 budget incorporates a 5% revenue growth in tuition and fees due to increased enrollment. The college has also planned increased auxiliary revenue to meet ongoing principal and interest payments on the college's revenue bonds. Given the ever-changing landscape of federal and state government, the budget incorporates 40.6% decrease in federal funding, previously noted by President Mosier of $1.6 million, along with a 6.3% decrease in state aid of $705,000. And due to recent developments, as noted earlier, we've been informed to expect a decrease of 16.2% in the college's SB 155 allocation, resulting in a loss of an additional $568,000. While there are difficult challenges planning with a fluid funding structure, I am proud to say the college leadership worked collaboratively to revise expenditures and balance the institutional budget. Examples of this include working closely with our medical insurance broker. Through engaged conversations, the college was able to negotiate a 4.5% increase in health insurance costs as compared to a preliminary 9.7%, saving the college $227,000. In addition, the college made the difficult choice to reduce institutional and facilities reserves by $2.5 million, the supplies and operating budget by $1 million, the college repair and maintenance budget by $1 million, and strategic priorities brought forward through shared governance of $250,000. While these challenges set the college back $5 million from the originally proposed budget, the college came together collectively to assess each area with the goal of a fully balanced budget, which I share for your consideration and approval.
There we go. Any questions for Dr. Schulte?
No, I think we had a thorough look at it in the earlier presentation and then this. I want to echo what some have said. I really do appreciate everybody that came and spoke tonight and let us know, their thoughts, their feelings, their position. And in addition to that, I want to acknowledge the 4 citizens that emailed me directly with a request or making their feelings and their positions made known. I appreciate them reaching out directly, and so thank you to them. I don't know if they're watching online or not, but these are difficult decisions. We know they are. That's what we signed up for. We're all taxpayers also that sit on here. We all know people that struggle a little bit with taxes and some that don't. So but our basic role as a trustee, and we consider what we are to do on behalf of the institution, and certainly including all the students that pass through here, and we heard from many of them, tonight. And I was really thinking about this, pondering it over this last weekend. What I might say in reference to the budget or whatever. Some of the thoughts came out here tonight. I first attended the college in the fall of 1972 or 1973. Now, if the college was founded in 1923, and it's always been in part funded by the taxpayers ever since its initiation. All of the colleges in the state of Kansas have been funded, at least in part, by local taxpayers and state funding and of course, student tuition and so on and so forth. But that means that there were people that funded the college for 50 years before I ever stepped foot on the college. And I appreciate the comments that were made about responsibility that we have, if you will. Part of the responsibility is to be forward-looking and forward-thinking and forward-moving, moving the college to be in position to continue to provide that much-needed, training, certificates, degrees, whatever it is that people are looking for and needing to improve their lives. And so it's been 50 years or so that we've been out here in this location, if you will, in addition. And as a taxpayer, I've been helping to fund it, all of those 50 years, and I'll continue to help fund it until, I no longer walk on this earth. But it is a tremendous responsibility, and it's not easy to make decisions that will cause some people to struggle, but it's easier, I think, when you hear some of the stories like we heard tonight, some of the students coming and sharing what it's doing for them and what it's done for them. And I was one of those students. I got my associate's degree from here, and almost immediately after that, my career started to take off on a more upward, trajectory within my organization. And I went on and got a bachelor's degree and went on and got a master's degree. And most all of you are familiar with my career here, so I'm not going to get into that. But, the point being, it was here well before I needed it. It was here when I needed it. And ever since I came on this board in 2007, I made a commitment to be sure that it would be here for future generations. All three of my sons have attended here. One has a degree from here, and one has a certificate from here and is in the FAME program, currently. My granddaughter is attending, one of my granddaughters attending the GED program here. And so outside of those benefits, I appreciate what was said, because really in the last 6 months, I've had an HVAC person at my house that got a certificate from here. We had an electrician at our church that came through the electrical program here and did work at the church. And just week before last, I had an auto technician at Walmart assisting putting on a set of new tires on my car. She had her KCKCC sweatshirt on. It looked like it needed an oil change, but hey, and I did say she. So, we're educating people, we're educating persons, many cases, non-traditional jobs and positions. We are doing the job, I think, of the community college. As I see it and as I understand it, we're fulfilling our mission. I want to be sure that we, are able to continue to do that. And that's why I'm voting for this budget. We'll vote for this budget tonight, because we obviously can't do revenue neutral. We cannot do that. And if we try to cut the mill levy anymore, I think that is too short-sighted of thinking for me personally, for us to continue to move forward and go forward. We may need to make adjustments in our strategic plan, in our facilities master plan. We have to defer some things and put some things off, and we certainly will have to respond to any of the crises or anything that arise that are unplanned. But we can't cut it too short, or we won't be able to even do that. So I appreciate your patience and your long suffering with me while I shared that information, and that's really all I have to say for tonight. Thank you.
Well said, trustee.
Thank you, Trustee Ash. Any comments or questions from other trustees? Hearing none, at this time I'd call for a motion to approve the proposed fiscal year 2026 budget as presented, including a flat mill rate.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
That is 4 ayes, 3 noes. Motion carries. Thank you. We are ready to adjourn the budget hearing. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Budget hearing is adjourned. It's been suggested, and I believe I agree, let's take a 5-minute break before we come back for the regular meeting. Thank you, everyone, for the break. This time, I'd like to call the meeting of the Kansas City, Kansas Community College Board of Trustees, a regular meeting to order this Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. This time will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Vice Chair Ricketts.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Vice Chair Ricketts, and I will now read the KCKCC mission statement, which is to inspire individuals and enrich our community one student at a time. Cheryl, could we have roll call, please?
Trustee Ash.
Still here.
Trustee Criswell. Trustee Gilstrap.
Here.
Trustee Hoskin Sutton.
Here.
Chair Isnard.
Here.
Vice Chair Ricketts.
Here.
Trustee Scruggs Andrew.
Here.
Trustee Criswell.
I believe Trustee Criswell did have another engagement she needed to get to this evening, so she won't be online.
Thank you.
All right. Next, can we have a motion, please, to approve this evening's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have under Student Alumni Success. I'd invite the presentation of the Skilled Machine Technician Panasonic Student Testimonials presented by Ms. Ashley Irvin, Interim Dean of Career and Technical Education.
And if I may, while she's approaching, we were able to gather these from Panasonic, but their public relations office and everything is very tight, so we won't hear names or gender, address, things like that. But they're very, very supportive of our program. But please.
Thank you, Dr. Mosier. Trustees, thank you again for allowing me to speak. Before joining the apprenticeship program, I often felt like I was working hard but not moving forward. I served in the military as an avionics technician and later worked my way up through different electronics jobs. But without access to the GI Bill, I thought higher education was out of my reach. This program has changed that. Having my education fully covered has lifted a huge weight and given me the chance to build a strong foundation for my future. It has allowed me to grow in confidence, share my knowledge with others, and finally see real opportunities open up. This program has given me both purpose and direction, and I'm truly grateful for that. The apprenticeship program has had a huge impact on my life. It has given me the opportunity to learn valuable skills while gaining real-world experience, which has boosted my confidence and opened doors for my future career. Being able to earn and learn simultaneously has alleviated a significant amount of financial stress, allowing me to focus on my goals. This program has shown me that with the right support and training, I can build a stable and successful future. We also had a few FAME students contribute who also work at Panasonic. The FAME program has guided me into a realm of professional development that I know I will benefit from even 10 or more years from now. It has helped me realize what I want to pursue and achieve in my career. At first, I wasn't sure how I would be able to handle everything. I thought it was going to be quite rough, but the FAME program has made the experience smooth and painless. Last one. I started my maintenance apprenticeship with Panasonic 1 year ago. Despite already having multiple careers throughout my lifetime, I had no idea what to expect when I was told I was going to get an associate's degree and be a maintenance 3 technician after I graduated. When I was hired, I thought I was going to run machines because of my background in machine operation. I believe that after the end of this school year, I will definitely be a more rounded person, and be able to work on a lot more equipment than I could have before I started this program. And I would like to end with, while these are words on paper, I cannot stress enough how big of an impact we've made in such a short time with working with Panasonic and other partners in the community. These are individual lives that we've changed, we've impacted. I get to see them every day. I get to smile and greet them at our technical education center, and I couldn't be more proud. And I must say, the sky is the minimum for what we're doing here at Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Our ability to be responsive to the workforce and be flexible is demonstrated through these programs. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Ashley?
I just had a question. While you can't give names and addresses, are any of those students from Wyandotte County?
I do not have that information.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I completely forgot. Could you tell us how many students we've had go through SMT and how many we have enrolled now and say
Yes.
second 8 weeks?
Absolutely. So since January of 2025, we've enrolled 125 students in our skilled machine technician program.
That's awesome.
Any other questions?
Ashley Future, Dr. Ashley.
Yes.
Is there a minimum age requirement for the program? And you know where I'm going with that, because I know we were just talking about our high school students.
Oh, I love that question. So for a Panasonic employee, you are an adult, 18 and up. However, we have developed a high school pathway that's aligned, and we do have our first cohort that started in August.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Wow, awesome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Amazing work. Next on our agenda is the audience to patrons and petitioners. At this time, I'd invite the public to raise their hands in the chat or approach the podium for the opportunity to address the board. Addressees must state their name and address for the record before making their comment or question, and there is a 3-minute limit. We have anyone in the chat?
There's no one in the chat?
Thank you. And seeing none approaching the podium, we will move on then next to the recognitions and presentations. At this time, I'd invite the presentation of the police chief's commendations presented by Chief Wiltz, Chief of College Police. Good evening.
Thank you. I have the distinct honor of presenting an award this evening to some of our finest officers and sergeants. If Sergeant Rowland, Sergeant Anderson, Officer Havner, Officer Galvan, and Officer Pendleton can join me. I will start with the Commendation Award for Officer Corey Havner. On August 26, 2025, just after 12:30 a.m., Kansas City, Kansas Community... Can y'all come over here so you can be on camera? Thank you. 5 minutes fame here. Kansas City, Kansas Community College police officers responded to the entrance of the college to assist officers with the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department, who were in pursuit of a white pickup driving in the area of North 74th Street and Taromie Avenue. KCKPD advised stop sticks had been deployed at College Boulevard and State Avenue. Officer Havner arrived and observed a large white pickup driving eastbound through the intersection at State Avenue and Campus Boulevard at a high rate of speed. As he continued driving south to the intersection, he saw several KCKPD vehicles decelerate and stop on the east side of the intersection where Officer Hunter Simoncic was laying on the ground. Officer Havner exited his patrol vehicle to assist KCKPD officers who were performing CPR. Officer Havner assisted providing life-saving measures while KCKPD officers performed chest compressions. Officer Havner's calm and professional response to this event exemplifies a high standard of professionalism and dedication to the service of the citizens of Kansas City. It is with great pride that we present the Kansas City, Kansas Community College Department's Commendation Award to Officer Corey Havner on the 16th day of September 2025. On August 26, 2025, just after 12:30 a.m., Kansas City, Kansas Community College police officers responded to the entrance of the college to assist officers with the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department who were in pursuit of a white pickup truck driving in the area of North 74th and Taromie Avenue. KCKPD advised stop sticks had been deployed at College Boulevard and State Avenue. When officers arrived, they observed Officer Havner and KCKPD officers administrating CPR on Officer Hunter Simoncic. Due to the chaotic nature of the incident, Sergeant Anderson, Sergeant Rowland, Officer Galvan, and Officer Pendleton immediately closed off the intersection to secure the scene. This allowed KCKPD officers and detectives to focus on processing the crime scene. Sergeant Anderson, Sergeant Rowland, Officer Galvan, and Officer Pendleton's calm and professional response to this event exemplifies a high standard of professionalism and dedication to the service of the citizens of Kansas City. It is with great pride that we present the Kansas City, Kansas Community College Police Department's Commendation Award to Sergeant John Anderson, Sergeant Rowland, Officer Galvan, and Officer Pendleton on the 16th day of September 2025. Any questions for me or the?
Yeah, I'll try to get you all in a photo all together with that backdrop if I can.
Can we get a group photo before you all leave, please?
Yes, stand in front of me.
All right, we got double.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you all. Thank you all for your service, obviously, and I assure you it's a day in your career that you'll never forget. And just remember lessons learned from that as you move forward, you know, in your career. But thank you so much for all of the good assistance you provided to KCK and the other community on that day. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Very proud of all of you. All right, next I'd invite the presentation of the Strategic Plan 2024 through 2027 biannual update presented by Dr. Baylog.
Thank you, Chair Isnard, members of the board. My pleasure to update you on our progress towards accomplishing the priorities that are contained within your strategic plan, our strategic plan at the college. Our plan is built on our values you see listed here. It includes 4 priorities, 4 goals for each priority, and 4 initiatives for each goal. Our priorities are student success, quality programs and services, employee engagement, and community engagement. Highlights of our work over the past 6 months towards accomplishing the priorities and goals contained in our strategic plan include program paths that help students map their education journey with us that were created for all our programs. Predictability is key for our students as they work with our advisors to create their individualized learning plans based on their interests, goals, and circumstances. These plans inform our team on what classes students need and when and how they prefer to enroll. We also ensure our students' plans are guided by our university and employer partners, enabling graduates to easily transfer to university or secure a job following their completion with us. We continue to grow our transfer and articulation pathways with local colleges and universities. Over the past 6 months, we've advanced partnership conversations with the University of St. Mary, Park University, KU Edwards, KSU Olathe, Donnelly College, and perhaps the most promising, UMKC. We seek to develop enhanced articulation agreements with all our college and university partners to ensure that our students can complete advanced degrees as efficiently as possible. Employers serve on our program advisory boards, and career services team engages hundreds of employers to discuss their needs and include them in career development events like our fall career fair that we hosted this morning at our technical education center. Additionally, Workforce Innovation developed 2 new micro-credentials in career readiness and personal finance directly with our partners. New academic and workforce programs initiated this year included certificates in HVAC, welding, medical assisting phlebotomy, and Cisco networking. Continuing education also launched 26 new community and career online programs. New certificate programs that will be submitted for consideration this fall include cybersecurity, biomanufacturing, accounting, and computer science. The college continues to invest in learning spaces across the college. These include classrooms, labs, and study and collaboration spaces. Notable lab spaces updated in the last 6 months include automation engineer technology, HVAC, multimedia video production, biomanufacturing, electronics engineering technology, and construction at our Pioneer Career Center. Our first year of implementation of 40X helped generate immediate returns and increases in the number of students awarded a degree or certificate, enrollment, and persistence. We're excited to build off this momentum in year 2, focusing on persistence, enrollment, and retention of first-time students and our stakeholders' experience. In early spring, we launched the Cultural Enrichment Center and the Enrollment Management and Student Services Division to better support the range of backgrounds, circumstances, and needs presented by our students. Leveraging a collective impact planning grant from the Kauffman Foundation and the guidance and input of an impressive coalition of partners, we're building a plan for an entrepreneurship education initiative that establishes an education continuum spanning K-12 to KCKCC and beyond, and integrates entrepreneurship education across all disciplines at our college. The durable skills that are highly desired by employers include those of an entrepreneur and that mindset. That plan will be completed later this year. And we hosted more than 100, we opened our doors to more than 100 area organizations and businesses across our sites, hosting their meetings and events, often at little or no cost to the organization. Looking ahead, we'll continue our construction on our downtown center. We're on schedule for completion of construction of the new center in late spring, early summer. We will load in equipment and furnishings next summer in preparation for next fall and the start of the 25-26 academic year.
1 minute.
As we see more progress downtown, we'll turn our attention to Leavenworth and construction of a new site. In collaboration with Campus Works, we will engage many of our employees across the college in reviewing and updating business processes, documenting those processes, and leveraging Ellucian colleague SaaS functionalities to support those new processes, all in an effort to streamline and improve our operations here at KCKCC. Ellucian's experience, once live, presents a huge step forward for us in the employee experience and the way we share information with each other across this enterprise. Marketing and institutional image completed a Herculean effort this past spring in standing up a newly designed college website. Now comes more detailed iterative updates to ensure all information is up to date and accurate. Dr. Stroman's addition to the college now gives us the strategic leadership we need to audit current enrollment management practices and update where needed to ensure a frictionless enrollment process and experience for students that allows us to be able to grow our capacity and meet learner demands. An area of emphasis for us this semester is improving the overall experience for our high school partners and their students. That includes streamlining enrollment processes and capacity building to ensure class seats are available for our dual and concurrently enrolled students. We're currently meeting with each of our area high schools and participating in district convenings like the CTE Next Gen Symposia with the Leavenworth County Schools. Dual and concurrent enrollment offers a strategic growth opportunity for KCKCC with area schools. These aforementioned enrollment management activities will inform the development of our multi-year schedule. It's imperative that we offer classes students need at times and via modes they prefer. Our goal is to provide a predictable and clear pathway to completion for our students. And I'd be remiss if I did not express gratitude for our Office of Institutional Effectiveness and Marketing for their support in producing this update. I welcome your questions.
All right.
I think it just keeps getting better and better. It just keeps getting stronger and stronger. I think, appreciate all the work that everybody's, put in on it. And it's everybody, so, it's great.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
really
total
takes
team effort, and we deeply appreciate this board's support.
It does represent a tremendous amount of work that you
Yeah.
really can't even explain in words with everyone's full commitment to it. And again, yeah, it's just beautiful. It's a great way to represent what we do here at KCKCC.
Absolutely. Consistent effort from every staff and faculty member, and consistent leadership from our administration as well. So thank you all for your efforts on that. Appreciate it. Hearing no other questions or comments, I think we are good for Dr. Baylor. Thank you. All right, next I'd invite the presentation of the marketing plan annual update presented by Ms. Chris Green, Vice President of Marketing and Institutional Image. Good evening.
Hello, how are you all doing this evening?
Good.
Hi.
And if we can, there we go. We will talk marketing and do an update on our 5-year plan for you today. First, our first goal is funnel growth, which is increasing inquiries and applications and enrollment revenue, at least the cost of the advertising. We saw a decline this year in inquiries and admitted students. That is not because we saw less applications come through. It is because we changed our processes. So historically, we've had students who didn't need to apply again who applied. And historically, we just accepted them again. And that inflated our numbers. And this year, we went about the process of educating and figuring out who did need to be accepted and who should have just gone straight to advising without having to redo that. Some people just, if they set out a semester, thought they had to come back and apply again. So the admissions office changed their process. And while we can't identify exactly how many that is, we did see application starts very similar to last year. Our admitted and completed application numbers were down, but that's because we are better educating our students in the right steps to college. I understand that sometimes someone might have submitted 3 or 4 applications. They thought it was part of their enrollment process. So, as you know, it looks a little bit different, but considering 23 and then 24 both had that process, we're very close to the 23 number again. And also I want to point out we're up almost 5% in our inquiries, and we had a 21% increase in first-time student hour credits, which is significant, as well as a 7% increase in first-time students. And that's exciting as well, showing us that our new students are continuing to come and take courses at a great rate for us. Marketing ROI. You saw these numbers last year. We are still working with our vendor to get updated numbers for this year, but we are well over that goal to at least earn as much in enrollment revenue. We're earning almost 5 times as much in enrollment revenue as the cost of the digital advertising and marketing process. So that's great. And we did see a lot of great increases as we move forward there. Our website, I want to point out that we had a 9.2% increase in engaged sessions, and that's with our existing website. Our new website didn't launch till August, which would be after this report. So when we look at that, we really brought the web visits this year. And I was excited to see that, because as we were looking through that, the website is the #1 way we communicate, and to see more students interested and on those sites was great. Then we look specifically at admissions pages. Get Ready page is a landing page we use when we do admission events. That page was, by and large, replaced with Onward. So we don't use it for as many events as we used to. As such, it declined a little bit, but look at Enroll Now. That's more than double what it was last year, and that's the #1 landing page for our digital advertising. Then Steps to Enrollment, which gives the detailed steps on how students enroll, also we saw an increase. So the enrollment checklist, 10% increase, the Enroll Now, 54% increase. So that's all exciting.
One minute.
When we look at community perceptions, we are still looking at how we can do a survey in the community. But we did look at our social media engagement. When we look at how many people interacted on Facebook, we saw it leap in 24 from 25,000 to 40,000 in 2025, showing the level of engagement that we had with those posts. Unfortunately, Instagram doesn't do interactions, which I think is the firmest way for us to see how active our social media is. And so we look at reach, and that reach is amazing as well. So that's some of the ways that we can look at our community perception is by how active people are engaging with us on social media. Program marketing, we now have 58 web pages. That's 100% of our programs online. All of their degrees. So if a program has 3 degrees, it's all on one page. But those are just the 58 sites for those, all with the bare minimum of the same information. And we have 22 program videos, and we are working on 8 more for the next year, and digital ad campaigns in all of those buckets. This last year, we unified our brand standards. We have approval of all materials with the logo and have a purchasing approval process for all of our logoed material. And just so you can see how exciting we are to see our current student, our current volleyball player, on our 8-week promotional material. She was so excited to be picked, and we're so excited to promote her. And those postcards are going to people's homes. They'll probably be there next week, as well as social media and flyers, and the whole thing. So that's exciting as well. And with that, I will take any questions you might have. It's been another great year, and I want to thank all of my marketing team for their hard work.
Thank you, Ms. Green. Any comments or questions from the board?
Nice information there. I think one of probably the most exciting things is the program, the marketing of the programs, because it can be frustrating if you're looking for a specific program and you got to look here and you got to look that. So congratulations on getting that, making it user-friendly for the students.
Thank you, and thanks to all the faculty who filled out those forms to make it possible. That was a big effort by a lot of program coordinators.
Yes, I'm sure. Thank you. And thank the program coordinators as well.
Great job,
Marketing
Chris.
rocks.
All right, thank you, Ms. Green.
Move approval of that.
We
If you
actually
need it.
don't need any action on that one. All right, moving into communications, I've just got 2 announcements. The first is a reminder of the Board of Trustees meeting for October, Tuesday, October 28th at 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. At the Pioneer Career Center. So this is the one meeting per year that we will have at the Leavenworth campus. And then the reason that the meeting is on the 4th Tuesday of that month is because we had to adjust it for the ACCT Leadership Conference. So any questions about that? All right, hearing none, I'll see you on Tuesday, October 28th then. All right, we move next into board committee reports. And first up is the Board Finance Committee. I did have an opportunity to speak with Trustee Criswell before the meeting, and she's not able to stay online with us. She had another engagement, but she let me know that she did not have a report for this month, that the committee spent most of its time at its monthly meeting this month covering the revenue neutral rate and budget, which was already both presented to us and suggested to move forward to the board. So she did not need an official report tonight. So we'll move next to the Board Policy Committee. Trustee Hoskin-Sutton.
No additional report at this time. We will have a couple of policies that was in the packet for review later, but just say thank you to everyone on the committee, and Lorraine and everyone, the trustees. We got a lot of work done, so thank you.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion to accept that report, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, the Board Community Engagement Committee with Vice Chair Ricketts.
We had a lively session last week. Did Chris leave? I think Chris had to leave. Chris did an absolute phenomenal job for us during our community engagement. We had our community members actually come on site, and we had 4 of our community members on the community engagement team show up. And I had us do an exercise. I pulled out a little bit of my training hat and gave everyone a task to actually just send a short little message to at least 5 of their friends and connections, as long as they were connected to KCK in some format, and just ask them a very simple question. Give us something positive that we're doing at the college, and then give us something that might be a concern of you or someone that you know, and share that information. We have collected, probably in just those few moments, about 20 plus responses. And so now Chris and I have the task of putting all of those into a great spreadsheet so that we can share them with the college president and with our board chair, and then we can make a decision if we're going to share it out. But it was really great because some of the things that we think we hear, or the soft little rumors, when we ask those questions, they're not coming up. And some of the great positive information that people were giving was phenomenal. It was really great. And I did give Dr. Mojo a little snippet the other day, but it really was great information. And there are some things, we're not a perfect college, but we're solid. There will always be room for us to grow, room for us to make improvement. There was something that came up that was really a simple miscommunication that Chris was able to address immediately with one of the community members. And she was like, that had no idea, it's a simple fix, and then we can keep moving forward. So it was awesome. We look forward to having our next quarterly meeting with them right before the end of the year.
All right, thank you, Vice Chair Ricketts. Appreciate it. Any questions or comments from the board?
I'll just say, in addition to that meeting, I attended the August Livable Neighborhoods Task Force meeting at the NRC, and just shared an update, just common knowledge things, downtown campus, and a little bit of information about our enrollment and everything. I think we have, we have way more supporters there than doubters, and so they're happy to hear what's going on, at the college with respect to enrollment in the downtown campus and just other things. The fact that we got the field house floor completed and reopening that and so forth. So it's just an information meeting, but it's a way to contact several different groups and organizations all at one time. So I'll attend every month that I'm available to attend it.
All right, thank you, Trustee Ash. If there are no other questions, we have a motion to accept the report, please.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, the ACCT and KACC delegates report with Trustee Ash.
Yes, again, not a whole lot to report. We talked about the really bad news that we got from the state and the cut in the Senate Bill 155 funding. I did forward you an email this afternoon about that. I presumed it was going to be in the presentation, and it was tonight. So I'm sorry, I apologize I didn't get it to you sooner, but you can go back and read, what Heather had to say about it. And again, we still just continue to keep an eye and an ear toward Topeka and Washington to see, what's going to be the next, the next thing that we may have to prepare for or make a response to. So that said, we're gearing up for a National Congress meeting, ACCT National Congress meeting. Trustee Sutton and I will both have committee meetings on that Wednesday as the Congress begins, or Tuesday, and the Congress begins on Wednesday. Our committees will meet on Tuesday, so we'll be there for that. And then again, we will be presenting. We will be one of the breakout presentations, and I'm excited about that. I think we're going to fill the room. So that's all I have to report.
All right, thank you, Trustee Ash. If there are no comments or questions, do we have a motion to accept the report, please?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have our consent agenda. At this time, I'd invite any questions or comments. Otherwise, I call for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Excuse me.
I have a correction for agenda item A, approval of the minutes, and it's in regards to my statement that I made last time. The minutes is in the, next to the last paragraph. I put it on my phone so I could find it easily, but it says, I had the college talk to Leavenworth officials about a possible mill levy. Now, that's what's in the minutes. But what I said was, or had the college talk to the Leavenworth County officials about the possibility of a mill levy. So I would ask that that be corrected, because the way it's in the minutes, it's not even a correct sentence. And I went back and checked it on the minutes, and I didn't say that. So if you would correct it to say, or had the college talk to Leavenworth County officials about the possibility of a mill levy. Thank you.
Sounds perfectly reasonable. Any objections from the board?
Nope.
Hearing none, I would direct Cheryl then to please make that correction, and I would ask that the board approve the minutes this evening as part of the consent agenda with that amendment. And I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda with that amendment now.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving into the staff and administration reports. Before we get started, I want to respect everyone's time. I know we got a late start to the regular meeting, so if anyone is able to summarize their remarks and they don't need their whole time, please do not feel like you need to fill it. I know that you've got things to do and would like to get home as well, but you've got our full attention for the entire time. If you have important information to share with us, not in the packet already, please feel free to do so. So let's start with our Student Senate report with Ms. Sage Kiefover, Student Senate President.
Good evening, and thank you for letting me speak. I just have a few quick announcements. The Student Senate held the school year kickoff on Wednesday, August 27th. We had 330 people check in for attendance. We believe we had a few more who were roaming around, but we are unable to give the exact numbers because they did not check in. The Student Senate sent out the perception survey about the mill levy. As I explained earlier, we hope to continue sending out surveys to gauge student opinions on such important topics. We created a virtual suggestion box that is now up and running and will be posted around school hopefully tomorrow to allow students to voice their concerns, questions, and even things that they think that are going well in the college. So we are also adding 3 more senators to our team, and we will be hosting the Fall Festival on October 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. and that is open to all students. We hope to have as many as possible. Thank you.
We really appreciate you staying around, because I think you mentioned that you live in Leavenworth, and so we know that's a drive for you, and you've got to come back to class. So we really appreciate you hanging out with us this late.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for
Thank you.
being here to speak earlier and for your report.
Yes.
Look forward to working with you in your role as Student Senate President for this year. So congratulations on that, and looking forward to it. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Move approval of her report.
So moved.
We have a motion, and I'll take Trustee Scruggs-Andreas as a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have the President's report with Dr. Mosier.
Thank you, and I'll be very quick. Just a reminder, we do have the trustee candidate forum tomorrow for all employees and students here, Upper Jewel 3 o'clock to 4:30. I want to thank everyone for their work for a very successful 9/11 ceremony that we had last week as well. 2 more items, and I'll share screen, please. So yesterday, actually, we hosted a delegation from Cambodia for the CEO Institute and the CEO Master Class, where they're looking to partner with community colleges and other organizations on how we can work together to increase the workforce shortage and the skills gap that we have. Really, it's global. This is a presentation that I put together, and I always try and put it together in their native language, which they always appreciate. So this one talks about the how can KCKCC collaborate with the CEO Institute and increasing workforce development. And it talks about ways that we can work with faculty, staff, administration there, bringing people over here for workshops, for shadowing experiences, for trainings, for international exchange, etc. And then just a few photos from that event. Speaking with Chuck, who presented to Dr. Simbura, we have 90 students in the AET lab this semester. Wow. So we're rotating 90 students through there. So it was a very good visit, and I think hopefully something will come from it prosperous. This is a for-profit venture for the college because we would work on a profit margin to help train their individuals. Then the only other thing that I have is just a kind of a quick flood update recovery. The first picture is Flint Hallway, the Arrowhead Middle School. I got everyone's back, so we're not showing any faces. We have 421, I believe, students from Arrowhead, and they're here for probably another 2 weeks or so. They'll be here for about 6 weeks. On the right is the multimedia services area. It looks a little bit different now. It is stripped bare because the whole thing has to be completely redone. And there is the studio that usually is set up with all the camera equipment. And the bags, the sandbags are in there because of the leaky corner still. If water comes in, it's going to get diverted so it doesn't damage the rest of the area. The far left is adjacent to the multimedia studio. It's hard to see, but as you go up the stairs, there is a doorway right there, which is on the back side of a water catch dam, which usually overflows. You can see it actually in that second picture. So we have some sandbags to divert, but getting it to the drain. You'll see some windows on the outside wall, and you'll also see it on the far right-hand corner. That's in the basement of the nursing wing. Those windows are going to go away. They are below grade. When you look at them, if you look in the middle of the window, you'll see where the water line was. So those will get pulled out, the wall will get enclosed, it will be sealed, and it will never leak again. Nursing hallway, top left. Top right is math, science, technology office areas, and you can see it's just really beautifully redone. Bottom left is that nursing lab window, and you can see the other was an office, this is a classroom. They had 3 of the 7 or 8 windows already blacked out, so they don't use the windows. Again, it's below grade. Those will come out, it'll get sealed up, and will keep water infiltration out of that area. Bottom right-hand corner is one of the computer labs that is getting finished. So they're doing just a beautiful job working on it. There's an office space in the math, science, technology building. And then the stairwell that comes down into that area right below the foundation. You can see the drain on the bottom right-hand corner, but if you look up top, I don't know if I can zoom. Nope, no zooming. There's 2 levels of sandbags in case it does rain.
Oh, you can see it a little bit.
Yeah, you'll see that white going across the top of the stairs. those are 2 sandbag height. So if we do get water, it won't come down again while we're doing the renovations. And there we need to fix the parking lot. There needs to be a curb. There is no curb, so the parking lot is the same elevation as the current sidewalk, so it makes a great waterfall. But that will be going away. And that concludes my report.
Dr. Moser, I just had a question. You're talking about the improvements with the wall and everything. Will this help with our insurance? Because I know you said that this could really affect our insurance. So if they see we're making significant improvements, will that help the insurance any, or is it just going to?
Yes, because we're mitigating the risk. We're basically eliminating the risk. That door is going to get closed off too. I don't know if I said that. That goes up the stairwell. That door is going to get blocked in. There's another door like 15 feet away, so we don't need 2 doors. There's a garage door and a person door on the back side of the theater. So anything that's below grade in that area is going to get closed. It's going to get sealed off, and it will be backfilled with dirt about 8 feet high.
It's about time.
Yes, thank you. So that the water will run away from the building instead of towards the building. So the picture's always worth 1,000 words, so yeah. So it's a work in progress. Patrick and his crew were on it, but I thought now's a great time to share some pictures of the finished spaces and work in progress.
All right, thank
Good.
you.
Good.
We have a motion to accept the report, please.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have the Executive Vice President's report with Dr. Balog.
Thank you, Chairs and our members of the board for the opportunity to share this month's update on highlights of activities in 3 key areas: institutional strategy, partnerships and community engagement, and operational execution. You'll note the update in this month's report that now includes the Pioneer Career Center in Leavenworth and the KCKCC Foundation. Last week, I had a great conversation with Kansas House Speaker Dan Hawkins and his Chief of Staff. He presented to the Fairfax Industrial Association, made a nice connection with the speaker. He's a strong proponent of community colleges. We are grateful for his leadership, advocacy, and support for community colleges in the state legislature. We will need his support moving forward. The KCKCC Foundation is tracking well toward its annual fundraising goal and has been very productive in generating support for our targeted capital campaign for the Automation Engineer Technology Program. We've secured $3.2 million with an additional $3.3 million in proposals pending. The foundation awarded 276 scholarships for the fall semester for a total of $219,376 with an average award of $800. Half of the fall scholarship recipients were enrolled in the college's career and technical education programs. In early October, we'll make our pitch for funding to support the Automation Engineer Technology Program with the National Association for Community College Entrepreneurship Ratcliffe Pitch for the Trades competition. KCKCC is one of 5 colleges nationally selected to pitch for a piece of a $150,000 prize. You'll note the great work from our team at the Pioneer Career Center engaging in the Leavenworth community. That includes the Fort, the University of St. Mary, and area high schools. That work generates interest in KCKCC, traffic at the center, and informs our program and course planning. The foundation is also generating interest in traffic at the college through donor and community events. They've been very productive, and we encourage you all to attend the Athletics Fieldhouse Court Dedication Ceremony this Thursday at 3 p.m. Turning to operational execution, the KCKCC Foundation promptly processes and acknowledges the gifts it receives. We accommodate the interest of our donors and mobilize funds quickly to benefit our students and our programs. The foundation is highly efficient, generating a 5x return on the college's investment. We're grateful for Mary Spangler, her team, their work, and the contributions and support provided by our volunteer board. This concludes my report. I welcome your questions.
Thank you, Dr. Balog. Any questions, comments from the board? Hearing none, do we have a motion to accept the report, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, the Vice President of Academic Affairs report with Mr. Pope. Good evening.
Good evening, trustees. Academic Affairs continues to move forward on a number of significant projects. At the VPAA level, we're preparing for 2 HLC site visits this fall. The Prison Education Program visit at Lansing Correctional Facility in October, and an additional location visit in November that includes both the TEC Technical Education Center and the U.S. Disciplinary Barracks at Fort Leavenworth. We're also beginning initial work on the next assurance argument for our February 2027 visit, updating the academic master plan and drafting a second prison education program application for the USDB and the JRCF on Fort Leavenworth. Other priorities include faculty negotiations, the launch of the Early College Academy in fall 2026, adoption of micro-credentialing and digital badging platforms, and expanding our work in credit for prior learning through CALE. Turning to our divisions, academic support and assessment reported a highly successful welcome week, showing a 47% increase in faculty and staff participation. Assessment Day drew more than 150 participants, and that's faculty, so it was very much every faculty member that was available. With a national guest speaker, Dr. Larry Frazier helped faculty connect assessment work more closely to student outcomes. In arts, humanities, and social sciences, faculty and students continue to shine. Our music faculty performed and published nationally, and students participated in community festivals and concerts. Psychology was recognized by the American Psychological Association for its student research model. And interesting, the president, it's not the same person, but the president for APA has been here for a number of years in a row. So congratulations to that department. Career and technical education, as you know, we launched the high voltage line technician program. It already includes industry level equipment and demonstrations, and I drove by today and our pole yard is coming up. So just very exciting for that program. The HVAC program has grown to right around 100 students with a targeted 80% completion goal. Cosmetology students demonstrating advanced skills early in the semester. Early childhood education is flexibly serving working adult students with their online options. Health professions and public safety, you can see criminal justice students practicing real-world traffic stop simulations. Nursing expanded its use of virtual reality simulation, giving students greater flexibility and immersion in their training. Mathematics, science, business, technology, they actually, in terms of office displacement, had the largest number of faculty members. I think there were 27 of the faculty members in that division who were displaced because of the flood. So there was a lot of work at the beginning of the semester for that, and congratulations, and we thank them. Workforce innovation is actively recruiting for the fall 26 FAME cohort. It's working to expand apprenticeships. Adult Education Employment Fair is coming up. Adult and Continuing Education, we had the opportunity to celebrate the GED graduates at the University of Kansas Health System, and the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs was there, so that was very exciting. There was a modest increase in funding, although the 2026, the FY 2026 funding, well, I guess that's what we're in now. So the 2027 funding is still up for grabs. We don't know what's going to happen with that. So in summary, across all divisions, academic affairs is advancing student success, strengthening community and industry partnerships, and building innovative programs that reinforce KCKCC's role as a regional leader and beyond in higher education and workforce readiness. So I'll take any questions at this point.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pope. Hearing none, do we have a motion to accept the report, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Yes. Next, we have the Vice President of Enrollment Management and Student Services report with Dr. Stroman. Good evening.
All right. Good evening, trustees. Fall 2025 unduplicated headcount is up by 5.1% from fall 2024 and up 10.4% from fall 2023. Big thanks to everybody, not just in our division, but the institution as well. on top of that, fall 2025 credit hours is up by 7.9% compared to fall 2024 and 11.4% compared to fall 2023. And we are continuing to enroll students for our 8-week courses that's starting October 13th. On August 8th, the 4th annual Blue Devil Golf Outing brought in $15,000 with 33 teams competing. So great job to Greg McVeigh, our athletic director, and his team. They put on an amazing event. On August 13th, the 3rd annual Back to School Fair welcomed more than 450 students to enroll, connect with services, and access resources. Special shout out to our Director of Student Engagement, Ms. Heidi Reyes. And I also wanted to mention with that the success of the move-in, we also had a great turnout for our career services or our career fair today. Danielle Fritters and her team put on an amazing event at the Tech Building this morning. Brought in 90 employers and full of booths, and 509 students participated in this event. And that included talking to the employers and getting those questions and answers in real time and preparing for their next steps in their journey after school. Centennial Hall officially opened on August 15th at full capacity with 258 residents. And with those 258 residents, the total enrolled number is 3,538 credit hours, averaging 13.7 per student. Again, a special shout out to our Director of Housing, Nicole Wilborn. Just wanted to mention a little bit about our Upward Bound program that's doing amazing things. They have achieved a 0% dropout rate, 100% graduation rate, and 94% college enrollment, with students averaging a 3.10 GPA. So Veronica Knight and her team are doing great things with that grant program. We hope to see it continue moving forward.
Awesome.
Our international enrollment with Dr. Candace Scott grew 24% from 87 students in spring 2024 to 108 in fall 2025. So congratulations, Dr. Scott, doing amazing things. I also wanted to mention we are having a kickball tournament. So October 11th. So if you're interested and want to go participate, the deadline to register is going to be September 19th. So it's coming up. And if you do not feel like participating and you want to donate and sponsor a team, that's also an option as well. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And lastly, on August 23rd, our head volleyball coach, Mary Bruno Ballo, celebrated her 300th career win. 300 career win. Currently, yes, definitely deserve a clap there. She's doing an amazing job. Everybody in athletics is doing great. Greg McVeigh did share with me that I wanted to report out that our current record as a combined athletic program is 20-3 as of now. So they're doing great things. We got a lot of great student athletes out there representing and doing their thing.
Awesome.
And with that information, I stand for any questions.
Congratulations on the Upward Bound report. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
That is phenomenal.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion to accept the report, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have the Vice President of Finance and Operations report with Dr. Schulte. Good evening again.
Good evening again, everyone. I will try to make mine quick. So in my area of finance, given the preparation of the budget that was presented tonight and you all passed, thank you for your efforts on that. The next phase for us starts the workbook, the budget workbook we have to complete to the county clerk by October 1st. So that work is well underway. It's, if you've ever experienced that, it's multi-tabs. It's about 50 different tabs in Excel. Everything has to tie out. We already have that ready to go, so that'll be in President Moser's queue shortly to review for us to make sure that submission is done and completed on time. So again, thank you for your efforts on approving the budget tonight. It makes that process that much smoother for us moving forward. In addition to that work that we've been doing on the budget presentation and getting everything ready, the auditors have been here the last 2 weeks. We're going through our audit process on campus. Things seem to be going pretty smoothly. When I don't hear from them very much, I feel pretty good about where we are. That's always a positive space. My team is very well-versed in working with our auditors directly. We brought on Becky Barger as our controller, who worked with them in the previous institution she worked at. So things are in lockstep, which is exciting as we move forward. So that'll be on the agenda down the road to present our previous year fiscal audit. Inside of Human Resources, our annual compliance training was launched on August 11th. All employees are required to complete 5 training courses by October 31st. In addition to that, our CHRO has made it, along with her team, their goal this year for their 40X to really solicit background and feedback information from individuals on campus. And they've created a process called Ask HR, interactive online Teams participation channel where they answer various questions in relation to topics that are brought forward. The compliance training and professional development is the first topic, but it's also open for people to submit questions in case they have various questions they need answered by HR, and an opportunity to be able to do that remotely from their desks tops by just joining that Teams. Inside Information Services Technology, we continue towards the successful completion of the colleague software as a service SaaS migration in the cloud. With that, this last week, we met with Campus Works. We've consulted with them to develop standard operating procedures. So not only as we migrate to the cloud and look at the functionality of our software, we also want to make sure that we're creating standard operating procedures so that people can maximize the use of the tool, but also have it documented. So that if somebody new comes on, we can actually give them the procedure with which they can kind of review and go, I now know how to utilize this tool, because not everyone uses Colleague. Facility Services, President Mosher noted and shared the flood mitigation and planning in relation to what we will do down there as well. In addition to that, a piece that will go out on RFP this Thursday is a wastewater drainage RFP. We brought in an engineer and did an analysis. One of the pieces that we have with the wastewater from the parking lot of the athletics building also runs down a hill and runs into the corner of the PAC along that road. The pipe that drains that and is supposed to drain it and mitigate it is 24 inches and really needs to be almost double that. 42, I think we're going to, and moving that forward to drain it out to the canal behind the school. So that will be another piece that also ties directly into the mitigation, not only the changes to the outside of the building, but how do we redirect that water, because as you all know, we're kind of on a slope. College police are attending multiple community engagement events, completing training modules, and assisting with harvesters distribution while continuing the commitment to college policing and safety management. I was excited to see last Wednesday, I went and saw the women's volleyball team play. They're undefeated. I believe they're still undefeated. And Officer Garcia was there as a community officer. First volleyball game ever he's been to in his life. And so that was pretty exciting, because he's like, I don't really know what's going on. Are there quarters here? What's happening? So for him to be there and walk around and talk, I thought was a great representation of our college police at that time. And in the Wellness and Fitness Center, we continue to work on streamlining our processes, utilizing Nelnet cashiering, and in addition to looking at what is the next iteration of our wellness center to meet our students, faculty, staff, and community members' needs. With that, that is all I have for you tonight.
All right, thank you, Dr. Schulte. Any questions or comments from the board?
You know, as I was reviewing our trustee handbook, and it was talking about the fiduciary responsibility, and it said that as a good practice, from time to time, we needed to change our auditors. So I know we have good auditors. So if they're listening to this, I don't want them to think I'm trying to throw shade on them. But how long have they been our auditors? And it said from time to time, the board needs to ask the president to seek new bids to get new auditors.
Yeah, we had a conversation internally. I haven't had it with the finance committee yet, but that is a piece that we talked about as well, is what is the cycle with which we should be going out on RFP for that partnership. I don't know. I can probably find the answer. I don't know off the top of my head how long they've been our audit partner right now. President Mosher, do you know? Before you, okay, so more than 6 or 7 years. So I do think that, and again, it's a competitive bidding process of which they can bid as well. And so we will put that out there, but I think it is a good process to your statement that we do that and put it out there. I would caution us, and Trustee Isnard might say, don't switch every year because it creates a lot of work, right? But it becomes that piece where I think after a certain period of time we should extend that.
5 or 6 years maybe.
Absolutely.
Or change. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so we can talk more about that with the Finance Committee as
Okay,
well and
thank
make a
you.
recommendation hopefully coming forward.
Yeah, it's probably rare to see a relationship quite this long, but I will say that it's incredibly disruptive to change your auditing firm because they have to come in and relearn just how everything is done at that institution. There's also the issue of there's not that many municipal auditing firms in the area, so you get bids from ones that want to do it remote, which is completely different than the firms that will come in and actually dive into your books here. So it's just not as easy as it sounds, but I would ask that work just be directed back to our Finance Committee. If they want to follow up on that for us, please, with Dr. Schulte, I'd appreciate it.
Very good, thank you.
All right, do we have a motion to accept the report, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have Vice President of Marketing and Institutional Image Report with Ms. Green. Good evening again.
Hello. As always, I'm going to start with a video, show you one of our programs in its finest.
I chose the PN program here at KCK because it's a great way to start in your nursing career.
What I like most about the program are the people and the students, the teachers. Very fun group of people to be with.
I'm an international student. I'm originally from Kenya. I chose KCKC because it's a good environment. When I complete my studies, I want to go back to Kenya, my country, and improve on the quality of care over there because it's a big problem.
We do a lot of hands-on things. We work in lab, we do clinical, and we all work together to be successful.
I'm so grateful for being here and good opportunities here. It's a good place.
Nobody can say it better than our students, and that's just the way it is. So I always like to start there. The best way to recruit other students is for our students to speak their story. We have had a busy month. This month we have had, we have set our 40X goal, which is focusing on featuring enrollment-related messaging and creating a lot more video content for that purpose. In addition, we hope on Thursday, several of you or all of you can come to the Bridenthal Court dedication at 3 o'clock. We are excited to formally cut that ribbon and celebrate coming home. Volleyball has been doing us proud in that space already. And then also we had the annual report, which you saw. We had the strategic plan update, 8-week enrollment, and the list goes on. So our team has been very busy with our new multimedia designer. We have had a lot more social media video content of our student activities and other events on campus. We also launched the website on August 25th. That has been very exciting. We're encouraged to see all of the different changes, and we're moving forward with that. And then I also had an opportunity to be with Dr. Jackie Viette at KCCLI in September, and I learned what my strengths were. And once I learned, they made sense. And I have 10 more months of that, so that's exciting as well. And I am also serving as our chair and conference host for NCMPR, which is the National Community Colleges Marketing Conference. And we did, breaking news, we found out today, we earned 3 awards. And so we'll be doing that in October as well. And we have been very busy collaborating with others and working with Blue Devil Cafe to get the word out and the location out. And we are excited by all of the new developments here on campus and across all of our sites. I'm going to conclude my report because we all want to go home. And I will answer any questions you may have.
Okay, I'm ready to go home and eat too. But can you share real quick what we got the awards in?
We got them in social media.
Okay.
We got them in photography. And we got them in the 22 program videos, the video series awards. So those are the 3 award categories. We won't know until we go to the conference exactly what level of award we received. But yes, those are the 3 areas.
Congratulations, great job.
Congrats in advance. Yeah, awesome. All right, hearing no other questions, do we have a motion to accept the report, please?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We are in the home stretch now. All right, unfinished business. We have none scheduled on the agenda, so moving into new business. I'll present the Board of Trustees handbook for fiscal year 2026. Believe all of you have had this in your board packet. Would open it to the floor for any questions, comments, concerns about it. This was also reviewed at length during the retreat. So I believe we're all pretty familiar with it. Is there any comments or questions? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the Board of Trustees handbook for fiscal year 2026 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, similar to the trustee handbook, our Board of Trustees goals for fiscal year 2026. So this came from discussion at our retreat. If there are any questions or comments or changes that would be proposed, now's the time. And if not, I would call for a motion to approve the Board of Trustee goals for fiscal year 2026 as presented.
Move approval of the 26 goals.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, I'd invite the presentation of the college policies by Trustee Hoskins Sutton, Chair of the Board Policy Committee.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Isnard. Trustees, you have it in your packet there. Marketing, communication, a lot of that was just updating this policy. Chris and her group are doing a great job in that area, and we just wanted to continue and make sure that it's streamlined and that we don't have everybody doing their own thing when it comes to marketing. We want a uniform presence in the community. So if there are any questions or anything about this policy, please speak up now before it's, set for approval. Are there any concerns or questions about it? Do you want to vote on them individually, or let me present both of them and then have them vote? And I'll stop talking here in a second, so if you have some questions about marketing communication.
I think I'm fine with talking about both of them and then voting on them in a single motion if the board agrees. And then I didn't personally have any questions about marketing and communication other than assuming the committee talked through these at length. Were there any concerns that you had, or is it brought before us unanimously?
Yeah. Yes, and it's been through the college senate, the different senates as well, and so they had positive feedback about it. And I just thinks that it helped make sure that everyone is on the same page when it comes to marketing. The more professional we can look as one college, I think it just serves us all well. And the other update is college closing. Just some updates and information in that. And then the procedures are attached, but is there any concerns for that? This one, I think they both were they're about 6 years old, yes, 2019. So thank you to Lorraine for diving in through all of this and making sure we get our updates on our policies, because that was one of the things that the Higher Learning Commission said, is that we need to do a more systematic effort in updating our policies, and that started when Dr. Mosher came. So any concerns about college closing?
Looked good to me. Hearing no questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve policy 1.03 and 1.04 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. That brings us to the end of our agenda this evening. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.